Thank you very much. Remain standing for the playing of our country's national anthem. Thank you very much and welcome again. Like I said, Star Racing Series, Antique Racers here in the house. Two divisions, both modifieds and their sportsman division. And for the call, I'm going to turn it over to my broadcast partner, Mr. Dave Sutherland.
Hey, thank you, Randy. Good evening, everybody. Nice to have you here with us tonight. Stay warm and enjoy some great racing. Championship night's always an exciting time, and there's some pretty important point championships to be settled, but some of these cars you'll be seeing coming out right now had their own day in the sun, probably had some championships along with it. One of them that we'll see here later tonight was, in fact, a Rookie of the Year car at this racetrack. We'll point that out when it comes out. Shouldn't be too long from now. Chris Horton's on the flag stand again tonight. Wave them on, along with all our other divisions, as part of our 802 Credit Union Championship night here at Claremont Motorsport Park. Last chance to watch some of your favorites run for a championship. Be more coming up in October, a couple of 3 weeks from now. 3, I believe. Randy will have more details on that as we go through the evening. A lot of these cars represent some of the best drivers in the world in New England, the world of racing in New England. And we'll also be paying special homage to Danny Furland, who was a star here and a star at Monadnock, and we'll talk about that when they come up for the feature events. But right now, the caution waves. That means the sportsman division is the first to come out as the McGee Motors Claremont Motorsport Park pace car brings them out. The 71, first one out. That's Greg Gilbert from Milton, Vermont, in the 1937 Chevy Coupe. The 2X, we see him a lot. That's Charlie Lima from New Bedford, Mass., the 36 Chevy Coupe. In between them is the 23. That's Ken Archambault from Plainville, Connecticut, in the 74 Ford Pinto. Next on the grid will be the 1, and that's the 1 driven by Skip Stearns. That's the black one. He's out of Londonderry, New Hampshire, 72 Ford Pinto. They're going to run, by the way, 8 laps in their practice qualifying run. The 38, that's Bob Guyon from Manchester, Maine, in a 36 Chevy Coupe. The other one, what's the Chevy Nova? That's the brown one. That's Joe Gauze from Londonderry, New Hampshire. And sitting in the back there in the 76, that's Rick McDowell from Sheffield, Mass., way out in western Massachusetts. Pretty close to Lebanon Valley country. 8 laps for these sportsman division cars getting ready to roll out here. Chris has his eye on them as they hit the 301 Metalworks collision start zone, and here they are. Quickly on the gas, Greg Gilbert cranks it up. Greg Gilbert will take him down off of turn 2. Charlie Lima ducks underneath in the second position in the 2X. Moving up in the 38, Bob Guyon. Now they string it out down the backstretch. The late models running at the back of the pack. The old coupe modifieds up front. The Pinto-shaped cars running 4th and 5th, and then you got a couple of late models at the back. Charlie Lima, no spring chicken, but he sure loves to get a race car around the racetrack. He and Greg Gilbert. Bob Guyon leading out there. Then the 1 with Skip Stearns moves into 4th place. Sitting in 5th to 23, Ken Archibald out of Plainville, Connecticut. Rick McDowell slides underneath Skip Stearns. McDowell always comes out with a nice late model race car. Stearns has had a modified before, and he has a late model now. McDowell starting to pick him off out of the back of the field. Let's see what he can do with that. Halfway out of this 8-lapper. Guyon trying to make some ground up on the outside. Going into turn 2. Down the backstretch, it's still Charlie Lima holding on to 2nd. Skip Stearns going 3rd. McDowell now up to 5th place as they click off lap number 5. Two laps to go, this time across the stripe for the Sportsman division for the Star Senior Tour Antique Racers. Gilbert's just going to hang on. Charlie Lima trying to catch up. Guyon staying put. Stearns trying to close in on the lead trio. Up on the outside, Guyon as they swing off for the last lap. Guyon takes it wide off the corner. Lima drops down low in turn 2. And whoa, contact, a little spark there. Charlie's got problems. Pulls that car right up to the high side. Looks like he might have a tire down, and they will finish this one under caution or just be under caution. Tough break for Charlie Lima. He and Guyon made a little bit of contact there in the corner, although I thought the spark came out before they got close to each other, in which case that would be a tire, pretty sure. Tough break. These guys really don't want to beat these cars up very much.
Such an awesome tour the Star Racers are. These cars, David, you've seen most of them in probably action at some time or another at one of the local racetracks, short tracks out there. But, you know, if you want to get into the racing for fun, and that's just what this is about, this is a fun time. That 76 is for sale. And a car you're going to see that was really a competitive car here at the Claremont Motorsports Park, it's also for sale.
Yeah, there's a lot of for sale signs out. Guys want to give it up and move on to something else. Charlie Lima, whatever happened to that car, he'll fix, and they'll probably have it ready to come back out here for the Sportsman feature in a little bit. One of the cars, the guy that was leading, Greg Gilbert, by the way, in the 71, Greg has inside his trailer the complete history of that car from about 67 forward. At one point, that car raced here at Claremont as number 13 and won Rookie of the Year. That would have been about 1982. If you raise your hand if you were here in 1982. I can't because I wasn't, but doesn't mean I didn't come up maybe once in a while, but well, meanwhile, we'll tell that story again later on. Right now, the modifieds are coming out in the 2. Nice, slick-looking modified. That is the 2 is Dennis DeSautel, and Dennis actually was listed for the Sportsman lineup, so we may have a little mixed bag out here. In the 110, that's Kurt Snow out of West Warren, Massachusetts. He's kind of like everywhere in a 1936 Chevy Coupe. The 44, James Allen, he's been around as long as Star and Near have been around, I think. Just loves to do this out of Westminster, Mass. That's a 67 Mustang. The 43, Alan Zemla from Windham, Maine. Alan Zemla makes the rounds a lot too. The 61, That's Jocelyn La Liberté from Quebec, Canada, in a 77 Ford Pinto, sort of a Richie Evans honorary car. And the 10 is Joe Henderson from Templeton, Massachusetts, in a 39 Chevy Coupe. This is the modified division, and here they come. Rolling off turn 4 on the gas. The sight, kind of cars you'd have seen here probably right after the dirt era ended and the asphalt era began. Dennis DeSautel leading him out. Kurt Snow going in second spot. James Allen wheeling off the corner on the inside of 4. On the outside is the 7. That's Gary Moore running third. He got running fourth, rather, trying to get into third. Gets way up in the banking. Whoa, look out, baby, as La Liberté rolls underneath. And 61 of La Liberté is really cranking it. You'd think Richie Evans was alive and driving the car. Dennis DeSautel, Kurt Snow, James Allen, Jocelyn, La Liberté running fourth, Zemlin fifth, then the 10 for Joe Henderson, and dropping to the back, the 7 of Gary Moore. Halfway through this modified Star Antique Racers qualifying event. The rumble of a good old-fashioned 350 or maybe even a 454 out there, who knows? You know, take a look at the header pipes, you can probably tell which is which. James Allen had a little trouble there in turn 2. We've got 2 to go now. DeSautel's not giving it up. Kurt Snow hanging in there in second in that pretty little silver and pink machine. He does a lot of car shows with that too. You see him on Facebook from time to time. Allen trying to close in, jams on the brakes so he doesn't wreck anybody. 1 lap to go. With a 10 for Henderson, trying to take the measure of Zemla in the 43, but it's not going to happen. Checker flag is waiting. Chris Horton's got it in the air. Here they come. It'll be DeSautel, Kurt Snow, James Allen, Jocelyn La Liberté, and the 43 of Alan Zemla will be your top 5 in the modified qualifying for the Star Antique Racers. They'll be back to start off our feature event round when we come to that later on this evening.
All right, ready to hit the park here tonight at Claremont is your LaValle Building Supply Pure Stock Division. Right now, current points look like this. Colton Martin leads with 316. Andrea St. Amour is in second with 302. Chris Conroy with 296. Keegan Tabor, and your top 5 round out with Chris Chambers. All right, here's how we're going to line them up. In the 78, that is Chris Conroy. To his outside is the 43 of Chris Bingham. Next on the starting grid is the 20 Vermont. That is Chris Chambers. You're looking to be champion in a 4. We never know what we're going to see this young lad in, but the closer, Colton Martin. Next on the starting grid is the 43S. That is none other than Nicholas Shepard. In the 11, used to drive the 1 New Hampshire Modified. Been in the seat for practice only. Gonna go racing this time. That is David Smith. In the 38, that is the Old Days Garage 38 for the Ogre, Jim Rhodes. In the 07, out of Claremont, New Hampshire, that is Chloe Zulo. Chloe Zulo. And always a hard charger here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Please welcome back the 36. That is Cody Sabins. 11 looks like he's going to elect to maybe start towards the back. No? Doing a check over of the 38 of Jim Rhodes. Given this opportunity, we'd like to thank the 802 Credit Union folks. They are over up here just outside of 38 says wrong heat from race control. So they're going to put him off. He'll come back and race in heat number 2. We're going to get him lined up behind the McGee Toyota of Claremont pace car. Light is out. Going to go green this time by. 8 laps is the distance. And we will crown a championship for the LaValle Building Pure Stocks tonight here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Chris Chambers going to lead him to the stripe, through and into the 603 Metalworks and Collision start zone. Chris Horton's got green in. And green is out. Whoa. Conroy looking for the championship. Here comes the 4 of Colton Martin, but side by side is the 20 of Chris Chambers. Whoa, little Mixon, little Dyson coming out of turns 3 and 4. Martin now sets his sights on the 78 of Chris Conroy. Conroy, current year leader, not for long. Here comes the closer. Colton Martin in a brand new rod. He just purchased it on Tuesday. Now is going to bump into the lead. Colton Martin. What a great young man, what a success he's been, and what a success he's going to continue to be. Battle ensues for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Chambers, Conroy, the 11 NH of David Smith working his way on the inside. Nick Shepard showing really good signs in the 43S. Halfway this time by, 4 down, 4 to go. Colton Martin stretches the 04 down the back stretch. He's probably got a 6-car lead over the 2nd place runner. Currently is Chris Chambers. Shepard now going to go to the outside, trying to work around Chris Conroy. Here comes Smith to his inside. The 11 NH. Just like he's never lost his touch in anything he wants to get behind the wheel. Dives to the inside. Oh, got a block thrown in there. Shepard swings it out high. Battle ensues, heating up really wide. Coming down the backstretch between Conroy, Shepard, and Smith. One more lap. Colton Martin still showing the way. Chris Chambers right there in 2nd. Shepard is your 3rd place car. Coming to the checkers. Here it is. Colton Martin takes the victory. Chris Chambers, Nick Shepard, Conroy, and Smith. Chris Bingham rounded out. Chloe Zula doing a great job. She's a great young lady to talk to. Just an amazing racing family. She's going to get a handle on that 07 and run these boys to the front shortly. All right, here we go. Round number 2, heat number 2. In the 1NH, starting on the pole, that is Charlestown, New Hampshire's Carlos Grenier. Outside of him in the 5, out of Claremont, New Hampshire, that is Hayden White. Inside row number 2, this is the 74, coming off a victory here at the Claremont Motorsports Park in Thunder Road, that is Keegan Tabor. Currently 2nd in points in the 20. This hot shoe knows how to get it done. She's lent a car, borrowed a car, moved a car around. She's a racer's racer. That is Andrea St. Amour. Inside, row number 3, out of Windsor, Vermont, that is Gage Dillingham in the 41. And now in the correct heat, here is the Ogre out of Greenfield, New Hampshire. That is the 38 of Jim Rhodes. In the 442. Tell me if you've been here for at any point, you haven't heard this name. That is Earl Maxim. And his outside in that beautiful green machine out of Windsor, Vermont, that is Josh Rondo. Second heat qualifier rounds for our LaValle Building Supply Pure Stock Division. Grenier on the point, White to his outside. Tabor, St. Amour, ready to set pace, working their way down the backstretch out of turn number 2. Welcome to all those folks watching at home on Nastrovision. Thank you for joining us here for Championship Night at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Entering the 603 Metalworks Collision start zone. And they're off. Grenier out to the early lead. Takes Tabor with him on the inside. To the outside. White, whoa. Grenier goes high to go to protect. Tabor looks underneath. Tabor in the 74 looks to take the second spot away. Going to try to challenge for the lead. Dives it into turns 1 and 2. Tabor, Grenier, door handle to door handle as they come out of the backstretch. Tabor sails it into turns 3 and 4. Keegan Tabor coming to the stripe, new leader. Tabor looking hot, looking to come off that victory strong here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Hayden Grenier, and look at the 23 of Rondo working his way up through the field. He's got that flash green, and man, he is looking to put that 23 in victory lane. Oh, something's gone awry on the 5. White up to the top. Gonna head that thing pit side as we come to halfway this time by. Keegan Tabor sails the 74 down the backstretch. Coming in tow is Grenier in the 1, the 20 of St. Amour, the 23 of Rondo. Josh Rondo looking really solid in that 23 green machine. Tabor takes off. He's entering 3 and 4, just exiting 4 as the others are coming and trying to reel him back in. Rondo looking to the back bumper of the 20 of St. Amour. St. Amour looks to the inside on Grenier. He closes the door going into 3 and 4. White flag is out. Keegan Tabor looking so strong tonight. Would love to do back-to-back victories. Here he comes for his heat event. Keegan Tabor's your winner. Second's going to go to Grenier and St. Amour Rondo. What a great run. Dillingham and the 442 of Earl Maxson round out our field for the LaValle Building Supply Pure Stocks.
Rolling out now in this qualifying round for the Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws. First heat. Taking a look at it, Max Bergstrom will start things off in the 3X. He sits on the pole out of Claremont, New Hampshire. Thomas Smithers, the only guy I've known who came in third in a race, finished 3 laps down and got a ride out to victory lane anyway 3 weeks ago from Gilmanton, New Hampshire. Smithers in the 60. Steve Bly pilots the number 10 out of Windsor, Vermont. Ben Poland hoping to leave here tonight as the champion from Charlestown in the 00. And Dick Lamont, the old veteran, back at it from White River Junction in the 18. That's your field for tonight's first of 2 State Farm Outlaw qualifying events. 8 laps apiece. Make sure everybody's there that planned to be there. If you're a betting man, you're going to bet on what lap Ben Poland takes the lead. I'm going to say lap 3. Here we go. Next time they get to green. double them up, set them loose. Bergstrom, Smithers, Bly, Poland, and Lamont. One of the warmest places to be tonight's inside the race car. McGee Toyota pace car pulls up. They head for the 603 Metalworks start zone. Green is out. Here they come. No. Hang on. Hello. Well, I guess they're racing after all. I thought he did not throw the green, but apparently he did. And jumping on top, it's Smithers. Out in front, Ben Poland. Not in the lead on lap 2. Down the backstretch. Give him time. Bly goes third. Fourth is the 18 for Lamont. And then Bly, the 3 of Bergstrom. Ben Poland lining up Smithers right now on the backstretch, looking for the third 3. There he is. Stuffs it down inside turn 3. They wheel together off the corner. And on lap 3, as predicted, Ben Poland picks up the lead. Tommy Smithers goes second. Stephen Bly sits in third, right on Smithers' back bumper. Then it's the 18 for Dick Lamont. And Max Bergstrom sitting in the 5th spot. Bly now gets underneath Smithers for second. Coming up on lap 5. Poland said, I'm going to lead everything because I want to walk out of here as the champion. We'll see if he does. The difference is not real big between himself and Guy Karen, only 14 points. And it would look like with the white flag waving, Poland's easily going to make the main event. Ben Poland with a lap to go to good size lead. Steve Bly going in second spot, third right now. Smithers fourth is Lamont. And bringing them around in the 3, that'll be Bergstrom. Technically the 3X. Checkered flag in the air for Ben Poland. Stephen Bly. Tom Smithers. Dick Lamont. And Max Bergstrom rounds out the field. And that concludes the first round of late models here in the Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws. Another one coming up. All right, here's round 2. Leading them out of Claremont, New Hampshire, Tyler Lesgord in the 15. The Miracle Guy, bad crash a year ago, a little over that now, still hanging in there. Guy Karen out of Leominster in the 8, second in points by 14, hoping he can find a way to win a championship. That would mean some really bad luck for Ben Poland if it happens. Starting third, Aaron Fellows Jr. in the 29. Could well be a good night for him. He was looking pretty good till he had to drop out last time. The veteran, probably the oldest guy in the field in any division right now, John Meany out of Gardner, Mass. in the 15M. And making his cameo appearance of the year in the 88 New Hampshire, that's Leo Martin out of Claremont. Leo's had a lot of other stuff on his plate, but said he thought he'd bring it out tonight and have a good time. I suspect he will not be trailing the field when they're done, but we'll see. Wait for our infield crew to get themselves situated as they do. Chris Horton says, double them up, gentlemen. Going to go racing next time. Watch for the McGee Toyota pace car to head up pit road. And then Tyler will lead them into the 603 Metalworks and Collision start zone. The green will come out, and we'll have another 8-lap qualifier underway. Here they come, picking up the pace. They roll into that start zone. Here's the green, and they're on. On the outside, it's Guy Karen. Fires it right down into turn 1, slides off of turn 2, and he's got the lead down the backstretch. Running second, Tyler Lescord. Third, John Meany. Here comes Leo Martin running into fourth as he gets underneath Aaron Fellows Jr. Meany, he'll stay with him. Does the best job of getting off of turn two that most of these guys do. Karen with the power. Tyler Lescord just trying to hang in there. Meany gets down there, can turn that car off the corner and get underneath if he needs to do it. Guy Karen trying to prep himself for the battle down to the wire for the championship here later on tonight in the late models. Outlaws 25-lap main event. We are halfway. Guy Karen. Tyler Lescord still got John Meany hanging all over him. Pair of 15s trying to roll the dice here. Meany looks inside. Can he make it? No. Has to slide back up. Still got 3 laps to make that try. Meany again sets it up to come off of turn 2. Can't quite get down low enough to get out. 2 laps left. 2 to go for Guy Karen. The Meany Lescord battle settles down a little bit. Only a couple laps left. White flag in the air. 1 more to go. Guy Karen easily on his way to victory. Lescord, Meany, and Martin evenly matched as they stay together. 25 laps will be a slightly bigger difference. 3 times the distance as the qualifier. Checkered flag for Guy Karen. Lescord, Meany, and Martin will round out the top 4. Here's your 5th, Aaron Fellows Jr., and that takes care of qualifying for the State Farm Outlaws.
Wow, David, and we've got a 25-lap event coming back for championship night here at the 802 Credit Union sponsored Claremont Motorsports Park night. Championships in the balance tonight. Now we enter the R.E. Hinckley late models. Starting on the pole in the 48 out of Claremont, New Hampshire, that is Daniel Young. To his outside in the Nissan 11 and 88, that is David Thibodeau out of Heartland, Vermont. On the inside of row number 2, ready to rock it, it's the 79 of Trevor Rock. To his outside, always fast no matter where he's at, they nicknamed him the Cabana Boy, that is Justin Beecher. Coming off an amazing run at the Thunder Road facility. Driving the 55K tonight, a Streeter Construction sponsored, that is none other than Cody Schoolcraft. To his outside, then the Hager Painting sponsored 91, give it up for the rowdy one, that is Robert Hager. Last time victorious here in the 4th, got many wins here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Nickname is the Weasel, that is Chris Riendo. And starting scratch on the field in the 19, that is Newport, New Hampshire's Jim Carley. Here we go, folks, ready to set the R.E. Hinckley late models underway. They'll be back later on this evening. They're going to be running a 30-lap feature event, and we're going to crown a champion. Daniel Young sits inside of the 88 of Thibodeau. They're going to approach the 603 Metalworks collision start zone. Chris Horton says, let's get it on. Oh! And that's not the way we wanted to get started by any means. Thibodeau hot off the gas, spins it around. Looks like he's collected the 91 of Hagar. And Beecher tucked on the inside here on the front stretch.
Well, luckily, everybody pulls away in good shape. Hagar really didn't make contact, but he got quickly on the brakes, I'll tell you. Could have been ripping the entire front end off of the 88 car. So now we got to get him settled down and realigned. The only one that seems to come out in the short end of the stick is take a look at the 79 of Trevor Rock. He got body panel's torn up a little bit in that mishap, but I don't think it's going to affect his performance any. Everything else is clear. The pace car is back out to get him realigned.
Trying to, David, get everybody back in their initial start stripe zone here. 88 looks like a Thibodeau took the hardest brunt of all that. Got a clip on the nose there, got a little ruffled feathers. Trevor Rock going to be put on the top spot. 79 of Trevor Rock's going to go to the front. Race control, race directors Craig Smith doing a great job as always here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Got a hot night here on championship night at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Chris Horton going to get down on the track, iron this out so we can get back under racing. Cody Schoolcraft going to get a chance to move up a little bit in the 55. Hagar coming up. 88's the caution car. He's going to the back. He's the one that brought it out. Chris Horton's got double flags in hand. We're going to get this thing refired, re-racked, and ready to roll. Rock's going to be your pole setter. Beecher to his outside. The 55 of Cody Schoolcraft. Sorry, tongue-tied or something. Hagar to his outside. Riendo. Carly and the 88 of Thibodeau will be tail on the field. Rock's going to bring him down the backstretch. Work their way. Beecher to the outside. They'll hit the restart zone button. Here we are. We're going easy street. Green is out. Beecher on the jump. Takes that 57 and rockets to the front. Hagar and Schoolcraft. Riendo. Something's gone awry with a 79. He's going to head pit side. Riendo works the outside for position number 3. Schoolcraft down on the inside. Beecher trying to run away from Hagar. Third still sits Cody Schoolcraft. Riendo trying to take that podium spot away. Thibodeau and then Carly make up your field. 8 laps is our distance for the R.E. Hinckley late model division. This is how your points shape up right now. Competing for championship number 5 is on the top is David Greenslett. Joe Tatro. Chris Riendo's currently 3rd. Hagar in 4th. And Matt Sunhalter holds down the 5th spot. Riendo now looking to the inside. Takes the 4 low. Coming out of turn number 4. He and Schoolcraft are even for the podium spot. Exits turn number 2. Down the backstretch, advantage goes to Riendo. Chris Riendo lights the wick on the 4. Now he's going to set his sights on the 91 of Robert Hagar. Could throw a blanket over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Hagar working the prime line. 2 laps to go. Beecher's still your leader. Justin Beecher says he nothing but loves that car. Challenge for 2nd. Diving into turns 3 and 4. Exiting turn 4. White flag is out. Riendo takes the 2nd spot. Chris Riendo working the tires and the wheel on the 4. But here coming to the checkers is the 57, the Cabana boy, Justin Beecher. Riendo, Schoolcraft, Hager, Thibodeau, and Carly round out heat number 1. Heat number 2, ready to rock. They are in staging, ready to enter the speedway. Here we are. Scheduled was to start on the pole was the 41 of Travis Seitz. He's elected to go to the rear of the field. All right, here we go. There's the lineup in the 45. That is the Doug's Auto Body sponsored Fleming Family Racing 45 of none other than the Massachusetts Missile, J.D. Stockwell. Next on the starting grid in the 35. He is a hard charger, well works the wheel. That is Chris Lindquist. In the WeBuyHomes.com Clear Auto Glass 33. He took the championship for the Teddy Bear Pools and Spas Triple Crown. That is Matt Sunhalter. Currently second in points out of Enfield, New Hampshire in the 73. That is Joe Tatro. And we spoke about this earlier in the 20, the Vermont Cabinetry sponsored 20. That is none other than David Greenslet. In the 85, doing double duty tonight out of Sunapee, New Hampshire. We know him as the Professor. That is Brian Roby. Coming off a podium finish in the 16Z at the Monadnock Speedway during championship night. Claremont, New Hampshire welcomes Dylan Zulo. And in the 81, a veteran racer here is doing an amazing job in that late model. That is the 81 of Andrew Burso. 8 laps is the distance. Stockwell's going to have the pole. Lindquist to his outside. Looking for championship number 5 is the 20 of David Greenslet. Here we go, rolling down the backstretch. Everybody anxious to get ready to rock. In the 603 Metalworks collision start zone, they're under green. Stockwell jumps to the lead. J.D. Stockwell. They bunch up, stack up. Sunhalter dives to the inside. Looking to take the second spot away. Lindquist still holds on at the stripe, working the outside edge. Side by side is the 1 and 2 points challengers right now. Greenslet is just ahead of Joe Tatro in the 73. Tatro being pursued by the Professor on the outside in the 85, Brian Roby. But looking awesome tonight again is the 16 of Dylan Zulo. Stockwell still able to maintain the lead, doing a great job holding off some huge charges of both Sunhalter and Lindquist. Oh, checking up, stacking up. Everybody's able to get out with minimal. J.D. Stockwell still is your top dog. Matt Sunhalter. Lindquist now going to be challenged by Greenslet. Zulo working his way up through the field as well in the 16. Tatro and Roby. Roby on the inside, Tatro on the outside. That's a battle for 6th. Here comes the challenge from Sunhalter for the lead. Sunhalter buckles the down on the 33 and is your new leader with 2 to go. Side by side is Greenslet and Lindquist for 3rd. White flag's gonna wave. It's Matt Sunhalter still in the lead. J.D. Stockwell, David Greenslet, Zulo to the inside. Dylan working the wheel on the 16. Got Lindquist picked up on the outside. But coming to take the checkers is the young shoe of Matt Sunhalter. Stockwell Greenslit, Zulu, Lindquist, Roby, Burso, Tatro, and the 41 of Travis Sykes. Wow. David, we've got some action ready to go there. That was a hot heat race, and it's only going to cook up to a great feature event.
When they get down to the feature, there's going to be some serious battling going on in this division. Right now, we roll out the 6 shooters, and it's not quite as much serious battling. The point chase is pretty much established with Steve Miller Jr. on top of Dad, Steve Miller Sr., Trevor Young, Jacob Scott, and Andrew Scott among the top 5. Right now on the racetrack, you've got the 37 of Trevor Young, then the 68 of Steve Miller Sr., the 07 Robert Shaw, who's no stranger to victory lane here. Behind him, it's Steve Miller Jr., the Gangsta of Love, driving the 79. Lining up next on the grid will be the 8 for Ryan Upham out of Bethel, Vermont, in his first year of racing, about his 4th race altogether. And in the 40, we haven't seen him here for a while, Ethan Mayette out of Newport. Mayette in the 40 out of Newport. That'll round out the field for this 8-lap qualifier for tonight's 6-shooter championship night. The Avery Insurance 6-shooters roll into the 603 collision zone. Green is out. Jumping out to the lead quickly is the 37 of Young, but Senior's right there. Whoa, little tight moving, of course, through turn 2. Here comes Steve Miller Sr. Dives inside Trevor Young, coming off of turn 4. They rub hubs a little bit off the corner to the line. It's still Young on top, but position, it belongs to Miller right now, going off of turn 2. Miller has the spot. Young's got to fight it from the outside. Robert Shaw's moved into 3rd, and he's got to take over some space in there. Off the corner now, Miller trying to make that 68 as wide as he can. Runs them high, comes out low. Down the backstretch. Here's Shaw now in the 07S. Robert Shaw trying to sneak second spot away from Trevor Young, and he does it. Young gets a little too wide and lets Steve Miller Jr. drop through. The battle at the back will be Mayette and Upham. Working lap 4. Crossed flags halfway. Steve Miller Sr., Robert Shaw, they've won a whole bunch of races here this year. In spite of that, Robert Shaw is not in the top 10. Check that, not in the top 5. The champion's going to be between the Millers. Hang on, Trevor, getting a little loose way up there in the high groove in turn 4. Might be the quicker way around. Still a heated battle for the final 2 spots. Robert Shaw with 2 laps to go, putting pressure on Steve Miller Sr. Robert Shaw almost had a shot at him. Working lap 7, there's going to be 1 to go. The guys at the back of the pack getting a warning of all things. Here's the white flag. Miller Shaw, Miller Young. They're going to be working their way around and catching the last 2 cars in the field, perhaps before they're done here. White flag comes out. Now the checkered flag in the air for Steve Miller Sr., Robert Shaw, Steve Miller Jr., Trevor Young, top 4, and Mayette and Upham finish their battle coming off of turn 4. It'll be Mayette picking the 5 spot and the 8 of Upham going into 6th, and that wraps up the Avery Insurance 6-shooters. Which I think brings us up to qualifying for the modifieds. I could be wrong.
Modifieds in the house. Got a 7-car field and probably the tightest battle in the points. Locked in at 232 apiece is Brian Roby and the hot shoe of Nathan Wenzel. Dead even in points. 232 apiece. Fellows, who is not with us tonight. And here in a brand new ride, put your hands together. That's the 83G for Hayden Grenier. Hayden Grenier got some taped on numbers. Great on a black car so you can see it. Can't miss those beautiful pink letters and numbers. Here we go. He's going to get ready. This is his first time in the new ride. Grenier looking really sound. Comes out of turn number 4. Going to lay down lap number 1 with a 14.991. Great job by Grenier. Looking to pick up the speed. Shoots it down the back stretch. Dives into turns 3 and 4. Back on the gas hard. With a 14.795. Next on the trial grid is the 27. Sunapee, New Hampshire is where he hails from. The 27 is piloted by Mike Smith. Smith trying to put some heat in the tires. Got the wiggle down. Here we go. Gonna get the green flag. This will be his first lap coming up. Works the wheel. Comes out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. Whoop, gets a little heavy on the gas and gets it squirrely. Gonna jump back on it as he exits turn number 4, taking time number 1 with a 15.258. Smith looking to make this a better run. Here he goes, works through the 603 Metalworks collision zone, down across the stripe with a 14.437, ringing the pole bell.
Really nice improvement for him on the second lap. The first lap didn't really have enough heat in the tires. Next up, rolling out in the 4.
It is Windsor, Vermont's hot shoe in the McGee family sponsored 4. Ready to put heat in the tires, working it around. This is Joey Jarvis. Jarvis, no stranger to victory lane, would like to put it there tonight. Works out of turn number 2. Gonna try to build the speed. Guides it into turns 3 and 4. Back on the gas. First lap's gonna be a 14.816, making him third fastest. See if he can pick up the pace, Dave. Jets down the front stretch to the stripe with a 14.395. Hits the bowl and ready to go.
Puts Jarvis on the top of the pile, but we still got 5 more to go. Rolling out this time in the 51. I think that's his first appearance here at Claremont Motorsport Park. A rookie this season at the Dog down at Monadnock Speedway out of Swansea, New Hampshire. Adam LaPointe. Adam LaPointe sort of jumped right into it in the modifieds just to get right on top of the heap. He's had some other racing experience, but this is his first time and about his 3rd or 4th time actually time trialing, which they do at Monadnock as well. So LaPointe's on the clock now. Still getting his feet wet in a modified, getting used to how they handle and how they run off the turn for first lap. It'll be a 15.382. 15.382 for Adam LaPointe. Second lap could be a little bit better. Most people can knock off a couple tenths of a second. Let's see how much he picks up. Down the straight, cross the line, 14.469. Try that again, 460. 14.960, he said. Up next, getting his feet wet here too from Claremont, New Hampshire in the 46. This is Jeremy Zulo. Jeremy Zulo on the track. Some of the younger drivers getting their racing sea legs underneath him. He's on the clock now for his first lap. Kind of squares it off at turn 2. Let's see how he sets up for 3 and 4. Keeping it low is the best way to get off. Here he comes. Swings it out, little wobble as he goes by, but he gets a 14.422. Second time by. See how much he can knock off. Can he break it into 13s? 14.201, not quite. So Jeremy Zulo with a 14.209.
All right, here he comes in the 03, the Valley Recycling sponsored hot rod. The reigning now 2023 champion at the Monadnock Speedway. Put your hands together. This is Nate Wenzel. Wenzel. Done such a great job piloting this family ride. Going to be on the clock for his first time this time by. This kid usually qualifies really well. Works his way down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Going to glide out, glide in, stomp the gas. With a 14.371, can he knock Zulu off the pole? He's going to sure work the wheel and try. Here he comes, lap number 2. Wenzel's going to pull down a 14.153. Nate Wenzel takes the top spot.
So far. But this guy on the track right now is the other driver with a shot at the championship, dead tied with Nate Wenzel, and he knows his way around the banks here at Claremont Motorsport Park out of Sunapee, New Hampshire. Former champion, here he comes, the 25, Brian Roby. Green is out. Roby has a shot to take the top spot. Can he do it? Down the backstretch. Good line off the second turn. Down low. Turn 3. Turn 4. Across the corner and on the stripe for a 14.293. He's got a shot at it. 14.293. He's got to knock off 1.5. Can he do it? Second lap. 13.927. There he is. 13.927 puts Brian Roby on the pole for tonight's championship event.
I'm telling you what, folks, there it is. The battle is ready to be fought. Brian Roby takes the pole, and to his outside is his challenger, Nate Wenzel. We've got 30 laps feature event for the A-Stack Modifieds later this evening, and I'm telling you, that just builds the excitement.
Coming up to our feature round, first up will be the Star Antique Racers. That's Senior Tour Racing. And we have a little bit of a different approach as we normally do for the Senior Tour Racers. Usually we just bring out the sportsmen, run their feature, bring out the modifieds, run their feature. But tonight it's a little different situation because one of their own and one of Claremont Motorsport Park's own drivers passed away here this year. And so rolling out to start with are two cars driven by the late Danny Furlan, both in competition and in this event, in the 21. And obviously can't be in both of them, but one of the 21, the modified that he ran both here at Claremont and at Monadnock Motorsport Park for Monadnock Speedway for quite a while, and the 194, originally owned by Ed Cormie and driven by Ed Cormie, later put Danny in the car to drive it. Danny Furlan was an avid race fan. He started racing go-karts in Heartland and Barrie, Vermont. He started at Claremont Speedway in 1967, where he was a dirt track, when this was a dirt track actually, and he's raced here almost 24 years. When Monadnock opened, he was one of the first guys to race at Monadnock, along with quite a number of other drivers who were converting, as it turned out, from dirt to asphalt. For 9 years he raced there, and besides racing his own cars, he drove that was his 21. He also drove the 194 for Ed Cormie. After retiring from racing full-time, Danny built an open-wheel modified to resemble one of the ones that he used to drive. That's the 21, and he liked it so much that he built another one for his son Jamie. That was the 194, also resembling a car Danny drove. Together they ran both cars for a time with Star and Near. Jamie now owns both cars and obviously is driving one of them, and the rest of the racers are here in his honor to take a pace lap to honor Danny Furlan. Thanks to Brenda Furlan, who's here, along with Jamie. Brenda, for giving us the information. 1971 is the first time that Danny raced at Monadnock. We opened there in August of 1971, and he was among the racers. Had a pretty good time racing with the guys of both divisions. And it's just one way to honor his memory. It's not often that a lot of these racers are some of our own, but got a chance to watch both these cars in competition with Danny at the wheel. Actually, I think I watched the 194 at one point with Ed Cormie at the wheel too. Ed was one of the last guys that had raced the old Rhythm Inn in Miller's Falls and Cheshire Fairgrounds back in the day when they were part of the dirt track circuit here in central New England. And we see most of the styles represented that raced on asphalt across New England out here in the cars. There are some that have been retired that were dirt cars originally, not as part of this gathering tonight, but we have seen them in several years when the Star and Near drivers are here. So let's give them a wave off and honor Danny Furlan as the 21 and the 94 lead them around behind the pace car, and the rest of our Star Antique racers will make an honorary pace lap or two in the memory of Danny Furlan, former competitor here at Claremont, Monadnock, and other area tracks over the years in his racing career, starting in 1967.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up out of your seats. Give these guys the kudos that Danny would have wanted. Wave them on. Danny was an amazing man and an amazing family of racers. The Star Antique Racing Tour. And that, everyone here at the Claremont Motorsports Park, show them your appreciation. Danny's watching right now, I'm sure. Let them hear you, folks. They need to know how much you appreciate them being here at the Claremont Motorsports Park in the honor of Danny Furlan. Wave them on, folks. Rousing round of applause, and thank you for the Furlan family. Thank you to the Star Antique Racers for coming here tonight in honor of one of their own. One little special shout out. You see the Zelma car moving. He's got a couple of special people here in the stands that have never been to a race before. His granddaughters Lillian and Gwen are here. Help welcome them to the Claremont Motorsports Park. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're going to give you back over to Dave Sutherland.
As they head off, so the cars that are not competing in the first feature will obviously go into the pits. Hey, we have to make a mention. We do this from time to time, and it's a little later on in the week, but this is our last race of September. Actually, it's the last race of summer altogether. And so we do want to wish a happy birthday to Kim DeRozier. Birthday's coming up on the 30th of September. And we won't say how old she is, but the number is greater than 1. All right? Kim DeRozier, happy birthday coming up on Friday and Saturday, actually. Tomorrow's first day of fall. Feels like it tonight. Stay warm. First round of racers about to roll out here and get double up behind the pace car. Once again, these are the Sportsman division, the 2X. Charlie Lima from Bedford, Mass. The 1, that's the Ford Pinto. That's Skip Stearns out of Londonderry, New Hampshire. Row number 2 will be the 38, Bob Guyon from Manchester, Maine. And outside of him, the 76. That's Rick McDowell from Sheffield, Massachusetts. The other 1, that's the Nova, Joe Goss from Londonderry, New Hampshire. They're rolling out to take the green. The 971 is Greg Gilman, and right behind him, last one out, the 23 for Ken Archambault. And there they go. They've got 15 circuits here, 15 laps around for the Senior Tour Auto Racers Sportsman division. Rolling down off of turn 1 to complete lap 1. Up front, it's Charlie Lima, Bob Guyon, pair of coupes up there. Lima and Guyon. Here's McDowell moving up into third. Up on the outside in the 1, Joe Goss. Down low in the 1, that's the black one, driven by Skip Stearns. The 71 for Greg Gilbert. That car raced here as the number 13 in 1982, and it won Rookie of the Year. Car originally started racing at Riverside Park. The 23 trailing the field, although he was up front during the qualifying round. Ken Archambault. Charlie Lima out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. 36 Chevy Coupe. Here's McDowell. McDowell kind of making moves on the outside, zips around the outside of the 38 of Bob Guyon. Charlie Lima's in danger. Lima down low. McDowell up on the outside. Here he comes. To the line. No, not quite. But Lima, now he's got it going into 1. Off of 2, it's going to be McDowell followed by Skip Stearns. Check that, Joe Goss. The late models are doing better than the coupes here right now. McDowell, Goss, Lima, Guyon, Stearns, Gilbert, and Archambault. Laps are getting hotter, and McDowell's looking like he's going to be the man to beat from here on out. McDowell and Goss, then Lima and Guyon, Stearns, Gilbert, and Archambault. Skip Stearns has been building these antique racers and replicas for quite a number of years. He's had modifieds, he's had late models. Right now he's a late model guy, reminiscent of the style of car that ran a lot at Stafford Motorsport Park and some of the other tracks when Novas were a hot setup.
Sure. Still out in front is the 76 of Rick McDowell. Doing a great job, but he's now going to get the pressure from the 1 of Stearns. Doing a great job. If you're looking to buy or get into the Senior Tour Auto Racers, the 76 looking good for sale tonight. McDowell comes down Out of 3 laps, Stern's going to work him to the outside now. Lima still in third to 38. Bob Guyon is your 4th place runner. 2 laps left to go. Working his way to the white. McDowell in the 76. Stearns in the 1. Got one more lap. Lima now looks to the inside in the 2X. McDowell looking to come to victory lane out of turn number 4. Checkers around for Rick McDowell. McDowell victorious in the 76. Stearns in the 2nd spot. The 2X of Charlie Lima. Round out your top 3. They're going to make their way to victory lane. You have a chance to chat with these folks. Do such a great job in the preservation of our sport. Chris Horton going to hand McDowell the checkered flag. Give him a big round of applause. Claremont Motorsports Park. Whoa, gonna lay it down for you. Rick McDowell, victorious in the 76. Working his way around the track, and we're gonna head trackside with Dave Sutherland.
Right, quite a family gathering down here for top 3 finishers as soon as Rick McDowell gets himself around here in his victory lap. Seems to me we just did this a few weeks ago with some of these same drivers down at Monadnock, so it seems like McDowell's the guy who gets to the front the quickest as he rolls his thunderstruck Mustang to the line. And we'll get over there and chat with him in just a sec. Miss M will do the obligatory pictures along with everybody else here. Here he comes, your winner today, Rick McDowell.
Hey, how are you?
We just talked down in the pits, I don't remember.
Well, we did, but we seem to be talking a lot up and down 91 here lately. How you been?
Yeah, this must be a regular for us. Tell us a little bit about the car.
Well, it's for sale, first of all, because it's too fast for me, but we got a couple of them, and my partner quit. He's my crew chief now, so we got a couple of more Camaros at home, so this is the one that's on the block, and as you can see, she can roll. We have a good time with it.
So that means if somebody would like to be part of Star or one of the other touring antique car groups, this might be the one for them to pick up.
This could be the one, but I'll tell you, we really appreciate you folks up here in Claremont having us. We've been coming here for a lot of years. I can't tell you how many years I ran behind Danny Furlan, never knew what his car number was because I could never catch him. But it was a lot of fun. We appreciate you folks having us here. This is a great stop for us during the summer, even though it's wintertime now. It feels like up here in New Hampshire.
Certainly is. Last day of summer, as we said. So there's Rick McDowell. Let's move over here to Skip. Oh, this is Mr. Goss.
That's correct.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why I get him confused, except maybe he drove this car once, huh?
Yeah, well, I do look a lot like him, you know. No, I do appreciate Skip letting me drive the car. And what I say, he's very generous to let us do it. Thank the Galore above for letting us have a safe race here. You know, we do remember Danny Furlan. Awesome guy. You know, I hate that he's gone here. But thanks for having us. Well, I say a fun little track. We do appreciate you letting us come hang out with you.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for being one of the competitors here. Charlie, you want to come on up? We got you out of the car okay anyway. And we'll make you go too far. You seem to be a regular here in Victory Lane, too.
Well, we got lucky a couple times, and so it's what it is, you know. But we just got to keep trying. That's it.
So the number's familiar to a lot of us older timers, 2X. Tell us a little bit about the history of that.
Well, Eddie Flemke built it, and he drove it. and he was a hell of a driver, and he could build cars. He was a good builder, you know, and he drove a lot and won a lot. So, you know, what can you say? The man, every time you looked at him, he was there.
He was there, the Eastern Bandit, all up and down the East Coast at every track that ran modifieds back in the day, and took a lot of money home with him and built some good race cars right up into the early 80s.
Yeah, well, his boy took it, but he passed away, I don't know, well, fairly early, because he was plowing snow and had a heart attack. So that was the end of him, you know.
That's a bummer. Good reason to go to Florida. That's what I say. Charlie Lima, a third finisher in tonight's Star Entry Racers Sportsman Division.
Thank you.
Can we nab you for a photo?
All right, as they clear victory lane, we'll do a little catch-up. You can see these Star Antique Racers again here at the Claremont Motorsports Park for our fall final. It'll be 2 days of action-packed racing here at the Motorsports Park in Claremont on October 14th. That's Saturday. They will be in the house along with the Pro 4 Modifieds, the Ace-Tech Modifieds, along with the New England Dwarf Cars. It is open wheel day here at the Claremont Motorsports Park on the 14th. And then you can come back on the 15th. That's Sunday. It is full fender day. The R.E. Hinckley Late Models, Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws, Avery Insurance Six Shooters, LaValley Building Supply Pure Stocks, and the Mini Stocks will return to the banks here at the Claremont Motorsports Park, along with the Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runner Division. Lots of racing for a 2-day fall festival here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Lots of excitement left. If you haven't got your racing fix tonight and you want more, the Hudson International Speedway will crown their champions this Sunday at the Hudson International High Banks, ready to roll Sunday afternoon. And they'll be ready to put down their championship trophies, ready to go, ready for excitement. Steve Grand and his crew over there will definitely show you a great time. And then, if you're still haven't got your racing fix, we invite you to the Lee USA Speedway for 3 solid days of racing action at the New Hampshire Center of Speed. It will be the 29th, the 30th, and October 1st. If you've never been to a Russ Conway's Oktoberfest at Lee USA, it is action-packed for sure. 3 solid days. Mini stocks in there. The quest for the cup. The Granite State Pro Stocks will be in the house. And we are ready to get going with our second round. This will be the Star Antique Racing Modified event. And ready to go is the Magic Man of Dave Sutherland.
Magic, I'm not so sure about. But we'll try to roll the dice and give somebody some luck here for this one. These are the Modifieds. Jocelyn La Liberté on the outside of row 1. On the inside, the 43 of Alan Zemla. His grandkids are here, seeing a race for the first time. Then it's Jim Allen in the 44. The 10 of Joe Henderson. The 110 of Kurt Snow. The 7 of Gary Moore. The green flag as they roll down into turn 1. And the 2 for Gary DeSautel. Make that Dennis DeSautel and you'll be correct.
The Richie Evans look-alike, ready to challenge that 1938 coupe of Zelma. Started racing that car in 1972. Him and his brother working for the team. Grandchildren in the house, first time ever, looking to see if he can put that 43 in victory lane.
Meanwhile, off of turn 4, will he stay out? Whoa, take a wide turn off of turn 4. That forces the 61 for Mr. La Liberté to not quite get enough room to come off the corner. Here comes Jim Allen up the inside now. Jim Allen, Joe Henderson on the outside, Jim Allen on the inside. Allen drops back a little bit. Henderson comes up around. Jocelyn trying to get to the front. Looks like he's going to do it. The 61 takes a high line off of turn 2, and Jocelyn La Liberté takes over the lead. Going into second, it's Joe Henderson. Henderson goes to second now. Third, Zelma up to third, or should I say back to third. Jim Allen running fourth. Fifth is a 7 for Gary Moore. Running fifth, the 110, Kurt Snow. And the guy who looks so good in this qualifier, the 2, that's Dennis DeSautel, has dropped back to the scratch spot on the field. Working his way off the corner now, the new leader is the 10 of Joe Henderson. Joe Henderson and Jocelyn La Liberté. Jocelyn was in the top 3 the last time they were in the northern part of New England, down at Monadnock. And now he's running right on the back bumper. Zemla, I should say, is still hanging in there in third spot. Allen in fourth. Fifth now is the 7 for Gary Moore, and not the old talk show host, but for those who remember, we go back far enough for these to remember Gary Moore on What's My Line, but right now this is the Gary Moore that's racing. He's running fifth. The battle is up front with 5 laps to go. Jocelyn La Liberté, Joe Henderson, and the 43 for Alan Zemla coming down to take 2 to go in just a minute.
You want to do it? Go ahead.
All right, Henderson's looking strong. La Liberté running second. They got about 3 to go. Modified division, Senior Tour Auto Racers. One of the last shows they'll be doing this season. You'll see them at car shows, you see them on the racetrack. They live somewhere between a show car, a race car, and a trailer car. We're gonna have 1 lap left. Randy's working his way down trackside to talk to him. When they're all done, white flag is out, and here's your winner to be, Joe Henderson. Just got to make 1 more lap. La Liberté kind of sliding backwards. Zemla hanging in up there in the front. Jim Allen can't catch him. Henderson takes a good run off of turn 4. He gets the checkered flag. Jocelyn La Liberté goes second, and Alan Zemla takes down the 3rd spot for his grandkids. And that'll wrap up the Senior Tour Auto Racing shows here in the Connecticut Valley for the 2023 racing season. Coming up next, will be the La Valley Building Supply Pure Stocks feature event, but right now we're waiting for everybody to get down there in Victory Lane. And Joe Henderson pulls away. And your winner pulls back into victory lane. Let's go down to Randy Wheelock.
Thank you, Dave Sutherland. Let them unharness, because they do have all the safety equipment in place. Our folks from 802 Credit Union are down here Victory side, Electrolyte side. Looking to help us out. We can't thank them enough for being here with us tonight. We'll get Joe up and out of the car here in just a moment. Getting his last photos taken. It's the empathy water. Here he is, folks. Claremont Motorsports Park. Give him a great round of applause. Joe Anderson. Joe, make your way around here, my friend. What a beautiful ride. What's the history of this car, young man?
Thank you very much. This is the third time I've raced at this great historic racetrack, and that turn 2 scares me every single lap. But this is a tribute to the Fred Borden number 10. Fred Borden won the modified championship at Westboro Speedway from 1960 to 1968, and he's in the Near Hall of Fame, and this is a tribute car to him.
Beautiful job. Joe, we congratulate you on your win tonight. Claremont Motorsports Park, give it up for Joe Anderson. Look at this. What's your name, pal?
Ashton.
Ashton. Wow, what a beautiful trophy presented by 802 Credit Union. Let's see if we can get the rest of the gentlemen up here. Come on up, guys. Hey, I recognize you. We had a conversation. Oh, man. We'll talk with third place first and then get our second place. Alan, you had a little bit of a tough time in Monadnock Speedway when you were down there, but this has got to feel pretty good, and you got some special young ladies in the house.
Yes, they do. They're standing right there. Can you wave?
Come on down, guys. Join.
Come on down.
Grandpa says come on down. You got an invite here to Victory Lane. So your car, give us the quick history on that.
It's early 80s Richie Evans chassis. Myself and Bob Turner put the car together, and I decided to race it.
Perfect race, perfect night. Grandchildren in the house. They're going to get a picture here with Grandpa in Victory Lane, and you're going to come over and talk with the folks from 802 Credit Union. Mr. DeSantel, we meet again, young man. You did such a great job. That Richie Evans tribute car is amazing, and it's always a top performer no matter where we go. You got to feel good tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I love this track. I would like to thank the Star Series, Claremont Speedway, and the most important, the race fans.
The race fans, you the race fans are the most important. You're why we're here. We're going to give it back upstairs to Victory Lane because we're going to crown our first champion tonight here at the Claremont Motorsports Park.
Thanks a lot, Randy. Take your time getting up here. We got these guys off Victory Lane, and then we'll be moving on to our first of our championship events, and that will be the LaValle, check that, the LaValle Pure Stocks. Good field of cars, 17 represented, and the championship is going to come down to two drivers, Colton Martin and Andrea St. Amour. Right now there's an 8-point difference. So Colton has to be at least 4 positions ahead of Andrea or to maintain his 8-point difference, or 3 positions behind her in order to win if she wins or if they finish in that way. So it should be interesting to watch. Colton Martin, Andrea St. Amour, Chris Conroy, Keegan Tabor, and Chris Chambers are your top 5 in the pure stocks right now. And so should be kind of a fun thing to watch. These guys are all competitive and have all had a taste of victory lane at some point or another, if not at least the top 3. And someone will go home tonight, the champion for the La Valley Supply Pure Stocks and the Claremont Motorsport Park 2023 Pure Stock champion. So in case we haven't mentioned, tonight, of course, the entire night is sponsored by 802 Credit Union, formerly known to many of us as way back River Valley Credit Union, before that the Putney Credit Union. And just nice to run into somebody you know way up here in the valley. It's kind of the way it is with 802 Credit Union. You go into the bank and you know somebody there. That's the kind of bank you want to do business with, one that knows you and you know them. Here's your cars on the field, on the track, and I think Randy's ready to go.
Absolutely, David, we're ready to go. 25 laps is the distance for La Valley Building Supply Pure Stocks tonight. And we will crown our first champion here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Starting on the pole, the young hot shoe in the 1 New Hampshire, Charlestown, New Hampshire's native, that is Carlos Grenier. His outside is the 78, that is Chris Conroy. Keegan Tabor inside, row number 1. Your current points leader, the closer in the 4, is outside, row number 2. Second place runner right now, inside row number 3, is the 20 of Andrea St. Amour. To the outside is the 20 Vermont of Chris Chambers. Row number 4 sits the 43S. That is Nick Shepard. Outside, making his return in the 11NH, that is David Smith. Inside, row number 5 is the 23, that is Josh Rondo. Outside of him is the 8, that is Sean Lantis out of Newport, New Hampshire. Inside, row number 6 is the 43 of Chris Bingham. Outside is the 5 of Aiden White. Next on the row number 7 on the inside, the 41 is Gabe Dillingham. Gage Dillingham in the 41. The 38 shows Springfield, New Hampshire's Jake Snide. Inside row number 8 is the 07 Claremont, New Hampshire's Chloe Zulo. The 442 shows Earl Maxim making his return. And starting scratch on the field is the 36 of Cody Sabin. Lineups being checked over as we speak. Everybody's in position. What's the bid, David, on the 36 staying in the bottom spot the rest of the race?
Pretty slim chance of that happening. Cody Sabin's strange to see him starting back that far. He was on the podium the last time they came here and almost had a shot at the win, so he was looking pretty strong coming from the back of the pack. He's going to have a challenge right now because there's a lot of strong runners up front, and he's got to bang his way through a pretty sizable field of 18 cars. Make that 17. Still a tough row to hoe. He being the 17th.
Here we go, getting ready to go green, entering the 603 Metalworks and Collision start zone. Grenier's going to get the green. He sets the pace and sets sail. Tabor right behind him. Conroy is outside. Martin going to split him almost 3 wide coming out of 2. Colton Martin. Andrea St. Amour on his back bumper. That is your championship leader and second place. As we speak, caution out on the speedway for the 11. David Smith. David around in the 11, New Hampshire. Right here on the front stretch. Everybody did a good job, David, of checking up and not making any contact with him.
And he's gingerly backing that out of the way now. But that's what happens when you haven't been in a race car for a decade plus, more than a decade. And someone is getting the fickle finger of fate pointed at them by starter Chris Horton. And it might have been the 43, had a little something to do with the 11 coming around. Let's see if he can get refired and join them. Hasn't been on the track in that long. Came to practice on Wednesday. Was the first time he'd been in a race car in, what do you say, 20 years? Something like that? 24 years. So he needs a little help right now, I think, from somebody.
Kenny and the crew from A Plus Towing going to give him a little shove to hopefully get him restarted and refired. Be great to see if David can return back to competition. He was like a Cheshire cat, David, when we were talking to him earlier. And he was grinning from ear to ear and couldn't be more excited to be back in a race car.
So with all the wild ride here in the first 2 laps, Cody Sabins has gone from 17th to 12th so far. So let's see how he does. We'll just follow him through the field. Looks like Mr. Smith is going to get a push all the way to the pits because the car does not want to fire up. He was able to back it off the track, but then it decided to go south on him. And in 50-degree temperatures, I would go south on it myself. So one race car in the pits, push truck going with him. It'll take us a minute to get everybody else sorted out and get the field doubled up and come down to the championship run here for the pure stocks. They're getting doubled up now. It'll be coming down to Colton Martin and Andrea St. Amour. Chris Conroy is a little too far out, but only 20 points out of first place. Andrea St. Amour is just 8 points back of your point leader, Colton Martin. And they're going to get the green to go next time.
Green to go next time by Martin, your current points leader, and the runner-up currently sets to his outside in row number 2. Tabor, Grenier gonna grind it out on the top spot. They enter the restart zone. Chris Horton's got flag in hand. We're to green again. Tabor jumps out to the lead. Martin follows in suit, working the inside of Grenier. A brand new ride for Colton Martin. Trouble looks like occurring on the backstretch. Got a car really slowing. Gonna catch the tail. Tabor is your leader. Colton Martin. And here comes the challenge of the 36 and Cody Sabins. David, we talked about with this Cody. We asked him how long it would take him to get to the front. He says, I'm really not sure. There's a lot of hot shoes out there. But look at that 36 roll.
Well, he's up to 7th now. He's gained 10 positions since the start of the event, from 17th to 10th. Right now, looking up front, you can see that Keegan Tabor, who had a pretty good run last time we were here, back on the 3rd of September, is getting a challenge from Colton Martin. Colton Martin only nearest chance. Look out! Trouble in turn 4. Oh my gosh! And Chambers got nailed by Grenier, it looked like, going into the corner, and they both get right back to their racing positions. The one that's slowing up now is the 23. And he's catching up to it now, but Cody Sabins just picked up another spot.
Cody Sabins making the hard charge, but your leader right now has his hands full of the guy that wants to be the champion. Keegan Tabor being tuned up by the 4 of Colton Martin. In third is Andrea St. Amour, doing a great job hanging in. But here comes the rest of the field. Grenier, Chambers, who just did the magic mile, worked his way through, now working his way back up to the front. Works to the inside of Grenier, making a challenge. Oh, the 07 of Chloe Zulo in the wrong spot, getting turned around in turn number 4 in the exit.
Well, the problem came here because Tabor got trapped in behind her when Colton Martin got up onto the outside. I don't know if she spun out on her own or whether there was a bumper, chrome horn involved there in the 74, but he kept on going and she did a 360 over there in the corner. So either the car decided to quit right there or the 74 is going to go rear. Chris Horton says, "You must go to the back of the pack, young man." So that puts Colton Martin on top right now. Andrea St. Amour, who's chasing him in the point chase, sits in second unofficially. Moving up to third, Chris Chambers, Carlos Grenier, and in sixth place now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Cody Sabins.
Sabins has definitely figured out how to get around here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. But the closer looking to seal the deal. We've got 7 laps in the books, 25 is the distance. Is this the time? Is St. Amour doing a job of sitting back, methodically calculating when she's going to make her move and see if she become the champion here at the Claremont Motorsports Park for our La Valley Building Supply Pure Stock Division? Colton Martin has had borrowed rides, has lent rides. It's interesting to see. This family of racing is a tight group. They'll do anything to help each other, be battling it out on the track, but when it comes down to it, they are as thick as they get.
Well, here's the calculation on this. If Colton Martin stays where he is and Andrea St. Amour stays where she is, no question of what the final will be in terms of the top 3 in the point chase. If for some reason Martin has trouble and Andrea takes over the lead just because it's easier to talk about the lead, he cannot finish any more than 3-point positions behind her in order to win the championship. If he's 4 positions back, it's tied, and it should probably go to the most wins on the season. If he's 5 positions back, it's Andrea's championship. So you got to watch that. It's early in the race, 7 out of 25 laps. Anything can happen. Cars in the way, drivers in the way. Brand new car for him, untested. Running great, ran like a champ in the qualifying race, looking pretty good up front. Was probably going to be able to challenge Tegan anyway to get by, but at this point, he's on the pin with Andrea right next to him, and it'll be a battle all the way. Chris Chambers, defending champion, sitting back there in third place right now. Right behind them, Carlos Grenier, who's had some pretty good runs of his own, both here at Monadnock this season. And oh, look, there's Cody Sabins. He's in 5th place now, and he's not going to be counted out.
A quick shout out to the 23 as well of Josh Rondo, where that car has been on fire since it started tonight. Here we go. Martin's going to lead St. Amour. This is for all the dice. Martin on the gas pedal and takes off. St. Amour dives to the inside. Chambers and Grenier working the 3rd spot. But right now, here comes Cody Sabins. Sabins and Rondo. Sabins has got the preferred line going into turn and out of the exit of turn 4. Drops the hammer on the 36. He'll take over the 4th spot in the backstretch. Martin is still your leader. St. Amour, Chris Chambers, Cody Sabins, Josh Rondo, and the 1 of Carlos Grenier. Digging as hard as they can. Here they come. Gonna hit 10 laps complete. Martin is still your leader. St. Amour in second. Chambers. That could be an interesting discussion at tomorrow's breakfast table, Dave.
Certainly will be, because right now Chambers and St. Amour are running nose to tail. Cody Sabins is one spot out of a podium finish right now, and he and Chambers both know each other pretty well from competition. He's trying to set him up for an inside pass going into turn one at this point. Let's see how that's going to shake down. Down the backstretch, looking inside, no move there. Meanwhile, Martin's way out. All right, here they come. Whoa, Sabins almost got underneath the 20 of Chambers going into the corner. Here's Rondo right on his bumper. Rondo seems to be able to gain some ground on the backstretch. Halfway now, halfway through this one. Colton Martin trying to hang in there for the final 12 and pick up the championship. Andrea St. Amour battling away with Chris Chambers for the next spot on the field. Chris Conroy is third in points, but he's kind of out of the picture right now. Here's Cody Sabins on the outside. We said from 17th to the top. He works the outside of Chambers to move into third coming off the corner, and he's taking Rondo with him unless Chambers can get that spot back. Colton Martin around the Rhodes machine. Andrea St. Amour now in second. Cody Sabins has worked his way up to third from dead last. And caution on the racetrack, trouble over in turn two as the 442 and the 43S get in trouble, brings out the caution and tightens the field right up here with 10 laps left. So David Smith and some of the guys that were kind of running back there give a chance to get up to the front, the 442. Of Earl Maxim, still running. He's going to run to catch up the back of the field with everybody else. Colton Martin. Jim Rhodes in the 38 is the lap car there in the top grouping, so he'll get by the pace car and come around to catch up the back of the field. Andrea St. Amour sits second on the grid right now unofficially. Cody Sabins in the 36 goes third. Fourth is Chris Chambers. Fifth right now is the 23 of Josh Rondo. Behind him, Carlos Grenier in the 1NH, the 78 then for Chris Conroy. That's currently 7th spot. Unofficially 8th spot right now is the 5W. That's Aiden White. The 74 of Teagan, trying to get himself back to the front. Dave Smith in the 11NH, recovered from his issues earlier on. Everybody else getting lined up now as they send the pace car off. Doubled up. Now you've got the challenger for the point championship on the outside, the challenger for the win, trying to get to first from 17th. Let's see if he can do it. The green is out as they roll through the restart zone. Look out! Cody Sabins sideways into the infield. The green stays out. Sabins is going to drive over to the edge of the racetrack and bring out the caution before we complete a lap. But it doesn't matter because he's going to the back again. Interesting development. Don't know how he got there, whether he just overdrove himself down low in turn 4 or whether he had a little tap from behind. He would have had Rondo right there with him, and that's kind of shook up the whole front of the field. All of a sudden, Carlos Grenier's right up there. know if the car just quit on Cody or what exactly happened. We'll try to get some read on that. Meanwhile, it's still Colton Martin making sure the car knows how to stay out in front. Andrea St. Amour, Chris Chambers. Carlos Grenier got a little move up on that, but I think that may change the lineup because we did not complete a lap. We're still at lap 15. Cody needs a push. Here he comes. Nope. Yep. There he goes. And he heads into the pits. 3 weeks ago, Cody raced, when we raced on a double weekend, Cody raced at Thunder Road, got a top 5 finish, drove down here, said, well, we got time, let's get the other car ready and come over and race at Claremont. And he did, and made it to the podium. The unfortunate part of it was he got to the top 3 and then they did a quick check on the car and it wasn't quite up to snuff, so it didn't count. And this time it may not anyway because he's dropped out. Double it up again, restart lap 16. Lights are out. Colton Martin, Andrea St. Amour, Chris Chambers, Carlos Grenier, Josh Rondo. Your top 5 runners right now. Running in 6th. That'll be Aiden White. They roll into the 603 Metalworks start zone. Green is out. They start the race again. Colton Martin, Andrea St. Amour. Rondo tried to dive underneath Chris Chambers to take over 3rd. That didn't work. Tire squealing. Trouble on the 23. Slowing all of a sudden. He must have gotten himself off course. Now he's got to fight his way back up through the restart win. Completing 16, Colton Martin, St. Amour, Chambers, Carlos Grenier, Aiden White, the 78. For Chris Conroy, he's getting a little bit of a challenge now. From the outside, David Smith from the inside, the 74, trying to put a little pressure on him. That's coming from Keegan Tabor. Now trouble on the backstretch. Tabor and Rondo get locked up together and take a shortcut through the infield. And then Tabor takes another shortcut through the infield, doesn't gain a darn thing, and drives it right into the infield. He's got problems on the car. He's hoping for a caution if he keeps it close to the racetrack. Can't get it to work, and that's it. He's on the go-kart track and out of the race. 5 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Colton Martin, Andrea St. Amour, Chris Chambers. Here comes Aiden White slipping and sliding in turn 4. Then David Smith and Carlos Grenier, who started going backwards here for a minute. Grenier still back there, but here's David Smith challenging Aiden White for 4th place, and he goes for it. Aiden White to 5th, Grenier 6th. It's getting down to it. Colton Martin trying to race for a championship here. Colton Martin will put 2 more points on the board toward the championship if he wins this one over Andrea St. Amour, and will take the championship by 10 points. And that'll be all. Here they come. Look out, trouble, 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 brings it back. 2 laps left. Aiden White pushed a little too hard, almost drove himself all the way around. Your leader, Colton Martin, on the backstretch. Andrea St. Amour, Chris Chambers. Here's David Smith. He's trying to make a move on Chris Chambers. 1 lap left for your leader. 1 lap left to a championship. Andrea St. Amour 2nd. Chris Chambers 3rd. David Smith 4th. 5th is the 5 of Aiden White. Here's the Double checkers, your winner, Colton Martin, your champion, Colton Martin. Andrea St. Amour, Chris Chambers on the podium. A good battle for 4th and 5th place between Aiden White and David Smith. Carlos Grenier goes 6th. 7th is Cody Sabins. Whether he was really 7th or whether he just got up that far after having to go in the pits. And the rest of the field. Finally crossing the stripe is Rhodes. Colton Martin, hang on, David Smith. Going to take one more lap there. Randy's fighting his way through the crowd to get down into victory lane. I don't think he's inclined to jump off the fence to do it. Chris Horton takes that checkered flag over to him. Let's see what Colton does with the new car. Victory lap. The other way. Heads up, folks. He's coming back at you. So everybody can see the checkered flag.
On 8:02 Union Night here at the Claremont Motorsports Park, we got our first champion and victor tonight. Put your hands together for Colton Martin. Call him the closer for nothing. What a great young man. What a great family the Martin family is. His photo taken, all the snapshots, all the folks at Nastrovision, make it a great smile, champ. Congratulations from all his crew. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Colton Martin. He is the Claremont Motorsports Park youngest champion. Hot Rod, awesome job. I couldn't think of anybody nicer I'd like to hang out with in Victory Lane, buddy. You've worked at it. This is your first championship. What does this feel like?
I don't know. I'm speechless right now. I guess this makes up for being sick all week. I'd like to thank Mom, Dad, Todd for all we did this week. We got this car on Tuesday because we had problems with our other car. Happy birthday, Uncle Ryan. Happy birthday, Clinton.
Happy birthday, Colton.
Yeah, thank you.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
For all you kids that are here on Sundays, my career started right here in the go-kart track, so if you want to make it big someday, you probably can. I'd like to thank Mom, Dad, Todd, Carson, Brooklyn, Owen, Uncle Wyatt, Sam, Uncle Justin, Griffin, all my regular sponsors, Andrea, my girlfriend, for letting me borrow her car the last couple of weeks, Willow, Chris, Maddie, I blew her car up, whoever has helped us this year or in the past, thank you.
Colton, what's next step for you, my man? You've got a Fall Challenge Classic. You're going to maybe wheel something different, but you've got a different adventure maybe heading for 2024?
Yeah, I haven't decided where I want to race next year, but I will be in the modifieds next year. Want to move up, so.
Congratulations to Colton Martin. What a great champion here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Andrea, I'm going to get out of this deal. I knew that was coming. I could see that one. Andrea, don't run away. Don't run away. So congratulations, young lady. You may have been a runner-up, but we've been watching you dig hard all season. You've had an amazing 2023. This has got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, better than last year. Championship would have been nice, but no nicer kid to get beat by. So,
who do you have to thank for making your season?
First, my mom, my dad wouldn't be there without them. My sponsors, VTMS Libraries, K&R Rentals, Highside Fab and Graphics, Central Vermont Micro Weld, and then my cousins, my papa, my aunt, Colton, all of his crew, and Philip, Dwayne, whoever else I'm thanking.
She didn't miss anyone. Adris St. Amour in for second. See if we can get Chris up here. Come on, Dad. Come on this way, pal. Well, maybe not a champion, buddy. Champion last season. You've had a good run. You didn't start off so well this season. You had a real big failure, but you kept digging all season. This has got to feel like a victory for you.
Yeah, no, this is all right. I was kind of pacing myself there. The car was a lot faster, and Drea's car just went away the last 5-6 laps, and I felt like I could have, points weren't a factor. I hate points racing, by the way. If points weren't a factor, I'd have loved to have gotten up there. I think I could have raced with Colton, and we could have put on a show, but trying to protect her, you never know when something could have happened. Colton could have went up in smoke and, didn't want to take nothing from her, but the last half of the year has been a lot better than the start of the year. I blew that poor thing up to start with, so that put us way back, so we'll take it.
Chris Chambers first on the podium tonight. What a great class act. We've got lots more to come.
Lots more to go here on our 802 Credit Union Championship night here at Claremont Motorsport Park. And the 802 Credit Union crew is down there to celebrate Victory Lane with all of our winners. Don't forget, there may well be an 802 Credit Union near you. They started down in Putney as the Putney Credit Union. They moved on to be the River Valley Credit Union, and they've combined with some other credit unions. It's always a good deal for you. Great people to bank with, and probably a good chance that somebody working at the branch near you is a friend of yours, or as I found out, a friend of my daughter's. Way up here. So make sure you stop in when next time you need to start an account, find yourself a loan. It's all important. Next on the agenda tonight will be the Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws for their championship event. This one, as was with the Pure Stocks, not a tight battle, but if something goes wrong, it could be a surprise. Coming into tonight, Ben Poland sits on top of the championship chase for the State Farm Outlaws with 324 points. Guy Caron, who's been right on his tail all season long, has 310. Steve Bly has 302. So the big change could be if something happens to Guy Caron, Steve Bly could move up to second, but it would have something really serious would have to happen to Ben Poland for him to drop down 7 positions or more in order to lose the championship. 14-point differential between first and second place. It's never a given, as we saw at Monadnock last week in the modified show when there was a 2-point differential between the point leader and the second place points guy, and the point leader made a move and got in a tangle, and all of a sudden he was 10 points back and out of the championship. So it can happen. And the big one will be coming up in the modifieds to cap the evening off, where the leader and the second place car are tied dead even. So one of them is at least going to win it, but it's entirely possible since third place is, and it's sad to say, 4 points out, and Aaron Fellows is not here tonight. He did get wrecked pretty badly here on the weekend of the third and fourth, and that might be why. Labor Day weekend doubleheader we had, and maybe he wasn't able to get that car back together. We'll have to just find out later on. Right now, we say goodbye to the Pure Stocks for the regular 2023 racing season. They'll be back again, of course, in October for the season-ending finale of fun racing. No points in charge, no championships to worry about. Just come on out and race. Right now, let's come on out and race. Here comes your late models, the State Farm Outlaws for tonight's 25-lap main event. On the pole in the 15 from Claremont, New Hampshire, Tyler Lescord. Starting outside in the 60 from Gilmanton, New Hampshire, a long haul to join us, Tom Smithers. Starting third, Guy Caron out of Leominster, New Hampshire, in car number 8. Steve Bly goes fourth on the grid in the number 10 from Windsor, Vermont. Next on the grid, starting 5, and we'll bet he's in front in 2 laps, maybe 3. Ben Poland from Charlestown likes to get up front and stay there. The 00, your point leader, starting 6, John Meany from the 15 Mass from Gardner, Massachusetts, a veteran who's been around the circles here since the late 70s. Next on the grid will be the 3X. That's Max Bergstrom from Claremont, New Hampshire. Starting in 8th spot, Aaron Fellows Jr. in the 29 NH from Croydon, New Hampshire. Starting 9th, Dick Lamott from White River Junction. Hot laps to get a little heat into the tires on this cool night. All right, they're rolling out the yellow to slow down the hot lappers. Final car in the field will be Leo Martin, making his cameo appearance today from Claremont in the 88. Pace car pulls out to get them lined up, and we'll be going 25 laps for tonight's championship event for the Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws on 802 Credit Union night here at Claremont Motorsport Park. McGee Toyota pace car pulls up into the pits, trying to jump a little bit there. Here comes Lescord. They're right even off the line. Lescord and Smithers. Caron. Here comes Poland. He just dives inside the Bly car. He goes to 4th before they're even halfway into the race. Up front, it's Tyler Lescord. Guy Caron down on the inside. Tommy Smithers on the outside. Then Ben Poland. Smithers gives him plenty of room. Poland just charges right up to 3rd place. I said to be ahead in 2 laps. It'll probably be 6 at the most. Tyler Lescord on the outside. Here comes Guy Caron down to the inside. Caron drives him hard into the corner, scrapes a little off the bottom of the car going into the turn. Poland goes underneath Lescord. It's the weekly Poland-Caron battle. Poland and Caron will duke it out from here on out for the 25 laps. Lescord 3rd. John Meany 4th. 5th is Bly. 6th is Smithers. 7th, Leo Martin. 8th is Lamont. Aaron Fellows Jr. is 9th. And 10th is Bergstrom. Ben Poland has plenty of time. 20 laps to take the lead away from Guy Caron. He doesn't have to beat him to win the championship. He's got a 14-point advantage. He could run behind him all the way, but why not win it to really cap off the season? John Meany into third place now. Meany was on the podium the last time we raced here. Bergstrom is going to be in the way as the leaders come by. Clocking the laps that are good 4 or 5 seconds faster than Bergstrom. Bergstrom drops out of the way as the leaders come by. Karen and Poland. Meany. Les Gordon Bly. Martin Smithers, Lamont, and Fellows. Right now, both. And Bergstrom spins to the infield and parks it. He's going to try to get it back on the track, but he'll be down another lap if he does. Trying to work his way off the go-kart track. No caution yet. Meanwhile, your leaders are on the backstretch. Third place, Meany, all by himself on the backstretch. Then it's Bly, now up to fourth place. Leo Martin moves into fifth. Lesgord drops back to sixth. Bergstrom, slow to get up to speed. Think he'd like to get out of the way. Doesn't get run over by someone. And he does. Trying to get out of the way. Drives himself into the backstretch wall. Bergstrom just trying to get off the track. Something went awry in the front of the car and he banged into the wall, and he was not even up to speed, just trying to get out of the way of the leaders. Almost got run over by Stephen Bly. Meanwhile, it's going to be Karen and Poland up front on the restart. John Meany will sit in the third spot. The outside of him will be Stephen Bly, then Leo Martin and Tyler Lesgord, Tommy Smithers, and the 18 of Lamont, Fellows in the 29.
David, it's all going to boil down to strategy for sure. Does Karen beat Poland off the line, or does Poland have what it takes? And is this the opportunity he's been waiting for? Ben Poland sits there in the second spot. John Meany sits there in third. Double file restart's going to put them side by side, chasing the championship.
Well, there's no pressure on Poland at this point because he's up by 14. So sometimes it's better to be safe than wrecked. And, you know, it's not that there would be any intention to take it out because there's no gain to Karen at this point. Poland finishes 6 points behind him, 6 places behind him. He's still got the win in the championship. But first place is always a nice way to put the exclamation point on a pretty productive season for him.
Definitely wants to put the stamp of approval on this one. 2023 has been an awesome year for the Poland family. That 00 has been a solid performer throughout 2023 here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. This is Ben's home. He's made that really crystal clear. He's looking to make a championship trophy in Victory Lane shortly. Chris Horton looks over the lineup. And word from track officials is that Bergstrom is okay. At a front end suspension failure, they're going to get the 3 loaded up here and get it off the track so we can go back to championship night here at the 802 Credit Union sponsored race. Thanks all of our sponsors at the 802 Credit Union, all the folks down front. Thank you for joining us tonight and making racing your part of a Friday night. The Predator is up front. Guy Karen, a great racer with a lot of victories to his accomplishments here at the Claremont Motorsports Park and beyond. Ben Poland, John Meany, the great veteran racer, Stephen Bly. But look what's came to life tonight. That 88 of Leo Martin, the HL Karen sponsored. Where have we ever heard that before, Dave? 88 of Leo Martin Jr. What a great run in that 88. That thing was fast in practice. It was fast in the heat race. and he'd love to put that in victory lane.
Well, even if he's on, I think at this point, having not really raced all season long, if he made the top 3, he'd be a very happy guy. And it was interesting. We were having conversation with him in the pits in reference to the sportsman and modified Star Antique Racers. Leo has had a hand in recreating the Pinto-bodied modified that Punky Karen drove, and apparently with Punky's approval, Punky, I think, just headed back down to Virginia for the winter after having done his usual summer trip up here. The car's parked away in the garage, and I heard rumors that perhaps his Pro Stock is also going to be in the works for an antique race show car.
If you had an opportunity to see the finalized pictures of the 121, the Goshen Ghost did a lot of work here at the Claremont Motorsports Park, and he was in victory lane probably as much as anyone, and was the feared competitor when he came to any track.
Well, he holds the most all-time win record at Monadnock, and no one has come close yet. Haven't had a chance to really get back into the record books and compile them, but it was in the 70s when he finally retired from competition. And though there have been some very winning drivers, none quite that much yet. All right, we've got... Well, a smart thing is they're backing the 3 off the track rather than trying to wrangle the rollback around. So there's probably a lot of beeping going on back there. We should everybody double up now. Behind the McGee Toyota pace car, Ben Poland on the outside. He does not like to sit back. Remember that. Steve Bly will move up into the 4th spot if he can hustle a little bit there. Steve Bly, John Meany in row 2, Leo Martin, Tyler Lescourt in row 3, and Bly pulls off the track. Just pulled up as they come down to start. He won't be able to finish this one in the top 3. Green is out. It's Karen, Poland, and Meany, Leo Martin, and Tyler Lescourt. And Poland slows up. Poland can't afford to be that far back. He cannot coast around. The hood is up on the car. If they don't throw a caution, they do throw the caution. The lap doesn't count. Poland can get that hood put back down and come back in the race. We've got 13 in. We're only halfway around. A hood pin or 2 just decided to go away.
Talk about driving the blind car. He definitely, that hood propped right up, completely blocked his view. Stephen Bly, though, the first competitor in our points championship race, dove to the pit area on the restart. Before we even got restarted, Bly was off.
Well, all they need to do to get Ben at least up into the pits and get it fixed is to put the hood down. I don't think he needs to be pushed. He just can't see where he's going. We'll see what the story is here. Okay, it's down.
Maybe the track crew's got a little bit of a duct tape or something out. I didn't work.
Well, right back up again. Flapping in the breeze.
Somebody's got to get some 100-mile-an-hour tape out to that cat.
Well, they've got to get him into the pits first. And, of course, he can't see where he's going because it's totally, sometimes when the hood goes up, you know, there's a little space there. But those style hoods, that's not going to be the case.
Somebody's got to have a quick pin handy or something. Maybe borrow one, maybe stop one of the other cars.
As we said before, he's up the equivalent in terms of the point lead. He's ahead of Guy Karen, the equivalent of 7 positions. 2 points of position. He's got a 14-point lead. So if he's able to get that at least tape down and get back out here and race, and he gets up to 3rd or 4th, he's got the championship done anyway. If he finishes 7th or 8th, he might still win, depending upon how many wins and what the final points are. we'll just have to wait and hear what the story on that one is. What it does mean right now is that Guy Karen has a win available. John Meany has a podium finish available. And Leo Martin, in a return to this storied track, could very easily be up. Poland's not coming back. Is he? Yes, he is. No hood, that's okay. He's got a ways to go, but he could get to the front. If he doesn't take any serious chance, he just needs to be 6 positions back or a little closer, and he can hold on to that championship. Here they come into the restart zone. Green is out. Karen and Meany. Leo Martin looking inside Meany for second spot. Leo Martin and Meany. Here comes Poland up the inside. It's Karen, Martin, Meany. Meany trying to hold him down. Poland up the inside. Still needs to pick up more spots to be in the money. Martin and Meany, good battle for second. Guy Karen's just going to run away and hide for a moment. Meany's not going to let Martin have a whole lot of room. They bang together a little bit. Meany drops to the inside. He's still third. Poland is up to fifth. He's underneath Lescord. He's up to fourth. Ben Poland fighting his way back up to the top. He does not have to win at this point. He can win the championship on points. Guy Karen not going to let up a bit. Leo Martin, John Meany, Ben Poland. Poland right up on the Meany's bumper coming off of turn 4. Caution, and around comes Aaron Fellows Jr. And that tightens everything up. Ben Poland is probably a very happy guy to see that at this point.
I bet he's excited like no tomorrow, but boy, has he worked that 00 back up to the 4th spot. He knows where he needs to be. I'm sure spotters in his ears saying, you're good. Work your way to where you need to be. Get into that position, and let's bring the championship home. Ben Poland, hoodless. Well, maybe to run a little cooler on a cool night like tonight.
Well, for sure, Aaron Fellows catches up to the back of the field with 9 laps left. And other than a spin out and a wall bump, really, it hasn't been anything serious in the event. Poland's hood just decided it wanted to take a vacation. And it'll work out that he will start on the outside of row 2. McGee Toyota pace car looking toward the exit up pit road. The field rolls toward the 603 Metalworks and Collision start zone. They're in the zone, and there's the green. Once again, Karen jumps out, forces Martin high. Meany's going to battle with Poland coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Poland's not going to leave anybody even close to him. Meany's not the kind of guy that's just going to let him go, and he doesn't, but he gets around him into third. Ben Poland racing toward the top. Now he's got about an 8-lap race to get the win. Karen running first. Leo Martin running in second. Ben Poland third. He's got to find a way to get around Martin. Martin's no slouch. Poland looks low. There he goes. Down hard inside Martin. Pulls it down to the bottom and then pulls off into second spot. You knew that was going to happen. Poland's got a ways to go to run down a car that's very equal in terms of how fast they are. We've got 20 laps in, 5 laps to go. Ben Poland trying to chase down Guy Karen. He'll win the championship anyway, but he's still got to catch him if he wants to win the race. 2 laps coming up. One more time around. Off the corner they come. Poland, half a straightaway behind.
Guy Karen, the Predator, working the wheel on the 8. Doing a great job. Ben Poland worked his way back into the second spot. Leo Martin, John Meany. That is your top 4. And Tyler Lescord rounds out your top 5. Guy Karen working the 8 car down the back stretch, lands it into turns 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. One more circuit. Poland in second. Martin digging out the podium spot. Checker's gonna fly. It's the Predator, Guy Karen. The champ in the 00, Ben Poland, Leo Martin, John Meany, Tyler Lescore, Tom Smithers, Dick Lamont. That will round out your field in the championship for the Claremont Motorsports Park Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaws. Got one car off up on turn 4. See if we can get track crew to give some assistance. Everybody's going to work their way to victory lane. There joining them is the broadcast partner of mine tonight, Dave Sutherland.
Guy Karen bringing the Santa Fe Street Auto Works number 8 into victory lane for the final time in the regular season. And right behind him, Ben Poland gets the 2023 championship sign set next to his. And Leo Martin back there in third after rolling into the track for the first time in the season. Do all the usual car check over stuff. Your winner coming out of the car now, Guy Karen. Well, finally win the last one. Not the classic battle with Ben that you're used to.
Well, it kind of was. I mean, it was like that half the race. I got to congratulate Ben. I mean, he's a hell of a driver, and he's a great competitor. And I love racing against him. And I guess if I was going to lose to anybody, I guess I would rather it be him. I just want to thank American Tire and Brake, Santa Fe Street Auto Works, Mike and JJ, Sam, Cody, all the wives and girlfriends. They gave me a great piece. I mean, we had the long run car all year. Luck just didn't do it for us, but that's okay. Ben's a good guy, and I'm happy for him.
Congratulations on the win, and we probably ought to go back and talk to Ben right now, don't you think? Ladies and gentlemen, where is he? Where's that man? Still in the car. Bring him out, your 2023 champion, Ben Poland.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, a lot of polling. Oh, trophy awards going on here, Ben. First of all, congratulations on the championship. Probably not the way you wanted it. What the heck happened there?
Oh, the hood came off. The Zeus buttons come out of the front of the hood and up the hood went. Too bad, because Guy and I had quite a show going on there. I would have liked to seen how that played out without me having to start over from the back.
Well, you still got up to the front. I mean, that's still a chore. One guy gets in your way, and all of a sudden, it could all disappear.
Oh yeah, it ain't over till it's over. We had a ton of fun racing with Guy this summer, back and forth. It was pretty much a 2-horse show all summer long, and I had a blast racing with him. Guy's a heck of a driver, great competitor. Can't wait to come back next summer and do it all over.
So you're looking for a repeat of a championship, no question.
I don't ever say that. I show up to race for the checkered flag at the end of the night, and if you do that enough times, the points take care of themselves.
Well, the points have taken care of the 2023 champion, and go celebrate with your friends. We're going to go find the cameo driver here in a minute. Leo Martin's around somewhere. Where'd he go? He may still be in the car. No, he's over there. Here we go. Leo. There's so many admirers over there, we thought maybe you're still in the car.
Yeah, could be. I'm tired.
Take a year off like that, it's a little different story, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to show up in one night and beat these guys. I mean, these guys been here all year, the fastest 2 cars. So we'll take third with our old worn-out AT car and be happy with it.
And you are happy with it?
Yep, yes we are. I want to thank Sean and Darren and Todd and everybody else that helps us.
He made us to third on a cameo visit. Leo Martin in tonight's State Farm Outlaws. We got more coming up, some more champions to be crowned before we're done tonight. Wait, we have 50-50, so now we got to find who's going to draw it. Let's track down Mr. Karen, and we are going to draw the 50-50 early tonight so everybody can go spend their money. How much do we have here, Nick?
$297.
$297 for somebody. Ticket number 2781 752. 2781 752 is the lucky ticket number. All right. Back up to Randy.
Thank you, Dave. We're getting ready to crown another champion. Congratulations to Ben Poland, our 2023 Brody Ledoux State Farm Outlaw Champion. We're going to go Ari Hinckley late models next. Current points look this way, your top 5. David Greenslit is on the top, looking for championship number 5. Joe Tatro is in second. Chris Riendo is in third. Robert Hagar is in fourth. And Matt Sunhalter will round out your top 5. Going to go 30 laps for our Ari Hinckley late model division here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Folks, thank you for joining us here all season. 2023's been amazing. Lots to come in 2024. And still, the Fall Challenge, October 14th and 15th. A day of open wheel action and a day of full fender action here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. Danny Pullen doing a little smoke show, celebrating his championship on the backstretch. Burning him off. Just a show for you, the fans. Ben Pullen lighting him up. You don't think he's just a tad excited, do you? Very soft-spoken man. Anytime I've dealt with him at Victory Lane, he saves his hot shoe for the track. Oh, got a little stall effect going on. Relights the wick. Ben Pullen, your champion. Here we go, folks. This is your R.E. Hinckley late models. Starting on the pole in the 45, the Fleming Family Racing Doug's Auto Body 45 for the Massachusetts Missile of J.D. Stockwell. To his outside in the Nissan of Lebanon 88, that is David Thibodeau. Next on the inside, row number 2, is the 35 for Chris Lindquist. On his outside, the crafty veteran, that 57 is always fast. It is the Cabana boy, Justin Beecher. Inside, row number 3, in the 33 Vermont, out of White River Junction, Vermont, the WeBuyHomes.com 33 for Matt Sunhalter. To his outside, in the 55K, K for a reason, that is Cody Schoolcraft. Inside, row number 4 shows the 91. It's the rowdy one, Robert Hager. Hot laps are going to do, and then we'll finish off our starting lineup. Heat laps are complete. Starting on the outside of row number 4, your current champion, looking to be 5-time champion in the Vermont Cabinetry sponsored 20 for David Greenslet. Inside, row number 5, the Weasel out of Scotty, Vermont. In the 4 is Chris Riendo. His outside is the 16Z. That is Dylan Zulo. Inside, row number 6, Harlan, Vermont, brings it Travis Sykes. To his outside, Claremont, New Hampshire's Daniel Young in the 48. Inside, row number 7, good to see him back after a not-so-good heat race. In the 79, the rocker, Trevor Rock. Outside of him, Kurt running second in points in the 73. That is Joe Chatro. Inside, row number 8 is the 85. It's the Professor out of Sunapee, Brian Roby. Outside of Roby in the 37 is Andrew Merritt out of Perkinsville. And starting in the 81, we were fooled earlier, that is Brandon Gray. And in the 19, Jim Carley. We're ready to go racing. They're going to enter the start zone. Let's send them off. Claremont Motorsports style. J.D. Stockwell jumps out to the early lead. Rockets to the front. Takes Chris Lindquist and Matt Sunhalter with him. Stockwell currently your points leader in the Rookie of the Year battle over Joe Thibodeau in the 88. Excuse me, David Thibodeau in the 88. Sorry about that, Joe. The rowdy one now in the 91. Schoolcraft takes the outside line. Working his way around the 88 is Cody Schoolcraft in the 55. Battle still ensues. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Stockwell, Lindquist, Beecher, and Sunhalter. Here comes the 4 of Chris Riendo. Dylan Zulu looking sharp in the 16Z. Here comes the 20 of David Greenslet. Greenslet working his way methodically up through the field. As you said before, Dave, he doesn't have to have a win. He just has to stay within reach. Oh, trouble on the turn 4. Stacking them up.
And more than just a couple of them. Those were front runners that got battled. But look who got through it. David Greenslet. So some of the main contenders, let's see who's pulling out of there. The 88 for Thibodeau.
Beecher's involved. Zulu's involved. Lindquist is involved.
Yep.
Ah.
Here comes Beecher trying to make sure everything's okay with his.
Zulu's got some heavy damage, David, on the left front.
Left front and suspension, I would say, by the looks. And one more trying to pull off the line there that was involved in that. And that'll be the 55 of Schoolcraft.
Robbie's going to have some body work to do. He said that he has the most. He was telling me that Cody always runs fairly clean and doesn't have issues.
Well, he's got a right rear down, maybe more than that, and plus the hood and front end are crumpled up pretty badly. So doesn't look like Zulu's going to be even go any further than he has now. He's going to get hooked and hauled off because there was pretty severe damage to the left front of that car.
Tough break for that young man. He came to the Monadnock Speedway last week at championship night. Very frustrated. But he put on a show and worked his tail off at a track he's never been on before to a podium run. So he's done a great job, and that family will put that 16Z back together.
Well, it looks like Matt Sunhalter is getting pulled over here. I don't know if he was involved in it or might have had something to do to get it started. Conversation right now with Ray Central. All right. Whatever that was, it was a mistake, and Sunhalter gets sent back to second place. We hear from Ray Central. Misplaced number. Guys hustle to get back and get themselves tangled up again, like Bergstrom hit the wall trying to get in the pits. So conversation's over, moving back up to second spot, puts him in front of Chris Riendo, David Greenslet, and Trevor Rock.
Get Brandon Gray in a borrowed ride. If you watched the episode at Thunder Road last week, oh, what a tough wreck. And then had a competitor, because he was in the points hunt at the White Mountain Motorsports Park, say to him, my car's on the trailer, all you got to do is hook up and go. What a class act our racing family is.
Well, David Greenslet came into this race 30 points ahead of his nearest challenger, which is Joe Tatro. 280 points to 250 points. That's 30 points. That's 15 positions, 2 points a position. So David's okay where he is if he just stays there all day, but any competitor wants to win, and that will be the case with him. 5 championships here and a national championship in this level for NASCAR. We don't bring that up very much, but this is one of the NASCAR weekly tracks. So all of this, the points they get here contribute to the New Hampshire NASCAR Championship at this level and the National Championship. A little more pressure if you're going for a national championship. Run a lot of races and get a lot of points against bigger fields. The smaller the field, the less value your points have. So the good thing with the late model division and the pure stock division, which is not a NASCAR division, but they're large enough divisions so that in larger championships it carries more weight.
The record's taking toughly damaged 16Z off it. We're going to go green next time by. Field getting the signal to double up. The McGee Toyota of Claremont pace car light is out. Stockwell's going to lead Sunhalter down the backstretch. Right by the 802 Credit Union sign. J.D. Stockwell, the young gun, looking to put it in victory lane. Here we go into the 603 Metalworks and Collision restart zone. We're green again. Sunhalter, challenge accepted, goes to the front, comes out of turn number 2 with your lead. Chris Riendo in the 4, working the wheel on that car. And here comes David Greenslit to the inside of Stockwell. Trevor Rock, Gray, Hagar, and the Professor, Brian Roby, doing double duty tonight. Working the 85. Challenge is going to come to the lead. Here comes Riendo to the inside of Sunhalter. Down the back stretch, they're door handle to door handle. Diving into turns 3 and 4. Sunhalter still working the outside. Working the inside is Riendo. He'll have it at the stripe this time by. Riendo now going to try to see if he can open up that lead, but Sunhalter's right there.
Sunhalter giving up the lead to Riendo. Riendo now going for his 3rd win in September here at Claremont Motorsport Park. He had double wins back on Labor Day weekend, and he's out on front right now here with a good 21 laps to go. It's a .30-lap event. 10:20 to go as they cross the stripe now. The 4 for Riendo, Sunhalter, David Greenslit. Then it's Trevor Rock and the 81 with Brandon Gray behind the wheel tonight. Top 5. Hagar just out in 6th. Moving up in the 85 will be Brian Roby. Then the 73 for Joe Tatro. J.D. Stockwell has been kicked back to the second half of the top 10.
Working their way through. We just completed lap 12 of 25. Working the wheel is the weasel of Chris Riendo in the 4. The Lightning chassis sponsored Brooks Automotive Ford. Working his way up to the top spot and now setting his sights for victory. Matt Sunhalter in the 33 Vermont. David Greenslit. And here comes Gray. Brandon Gray in the rented ride from Andrew Brusso. Doing a great job wheeling that hot rod tonight. Trevor Rock, Robert Hagar. Time is ticking. We are halfway, just past halfway. Sorry, before I told you it was 25. It's a 30-lap event for the R.E. Hinckley late models. soon to be, looking to go, working their wheel. Challenge now is Hagar on the inside of the 79 of Rock. For 5th position, Hagar looks to the inside. He'll take that spot as they go into turn 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Now Gray's going to challenge Greensled.
Well, Greenslip doesn't have to worry too much about the point chase, but he'd like to be on the podium when it's all over with. Riendo on top. Riendo, by the way, is just 4 points ahead of Robert Hager in the point chase. Hager's not going to be able to gain that up unless he chases Hager down and beats him by a whole lot. Sonnenholer putting in a good run here tonight to be in the 2nd spot. Gray moving up into 3rd. That puts David Greenslip back to 4th, but still in darn good shape to win his championship here when this is all over with tonight. 10 laps to go.
Riendo coming up on the 48 of Young. Going to go to the outside, swing around lap traffic. Sunhalter's going to have to make the same run. Matt Sunhalter clearing the 48 as well. Daniel Young, such a great young man to have a conversation with, just loves this sport of auto racing, trying to do it on a low budget and doing the best he can with that 48 car. So kudos to that team. But right now it has all been Chris Riendo. Riendo still keeps stretching it out. Going to come up on lap traffic of Carly and Sykes and Thibodeau pretty quick. They work the backstretch. He's coming on. I'm coming out of turn number 2. Maybe does this play into Matt Sunhalter's? But Brandon Gray doing a great job in that Barusso prepared hot rod. He is your podium right as we speak. David Greenslit's in 4th. Hagar's in 5th.
Your leader crosses the stripe now to complete 25 out of 30 for this late model event. It's Chris Riendo working his way through traffic at the back of the field. Matt Sonnhalter working his way up right along with him. Then it's Gray and Greenslit. Look out, Sonnhalter almost gets caught up in 2 lapped cars. And the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 4th place cars in the same boat as lap cars race each other. 1st and 2nd cross the stripe. Greenslit would certainly like to pick up 3rd spot, been trying to bide his time, but the lap traffic just gets in the way if you're going to try an inside move because the lap traffic is inside. 2 to go. 2 laps left for Chris Riendo, Sonnhalter, Gray, and Greenslit. Then Hagar in 5th. Those are your top 5. David Greenslit's got a lap and a half to run down the 81 and get onto the podium. The white flag is out. Make it a lap left. Will Greenslit be able to pull off a 3rd spot? It's easy to see Riendo's going to win it. Sonnhalter's going to go 2nd. Checkered flags are out for your winner, Chris Riendo. Matt Sonnhalter 2nd. Brandon Gray 3rd. Greenslit 4th. He wins the championship, and Hager takes down 5th. Trevor Rock 6th. 7th to Tatro. 8th to Brian Roby. 9th will go to J.D. Stockwell. And then we go back for 10th. Here comes your winner into the victory lane to collect his checkered flag, the 3rd one here at Claremont in the month of September. And I might add, the last checkered flag he'll get this summer. Chris Horton takes the checkered flag over for his victory lap. Next up, when we clear victory lane for this, will be the 6-shooters, the Avery Insurance 6-shooters for their championship night. Randy's trackside.
And all the hardware off. Your victor tonight in the R.E. Hinckley late model division Getting his photos shot, gets his complimentary water. He'll take a sip hard of that. He worked for this one. Up and out of the car, it's Chris Riendo. Chris, come on around here to the front. Getting a presentation from the folks at 802 Credit Union. Brother, you get out there, you found the right spot, you dug real hard. You're in victory land here at Claremont Motorsports Park. This has got to feel like a good one.
Yeah, this feels like a great one. I'm glad we ended the season on top. We didn't win the championship, but we sure in the hell made sure we won a lot of races. I would have had another one if I was a little more patient, but tonight patience paid off. I don't know what happened there in the top 3 or whatever. They wrecked. I was hoping to race with Beecher. He's pretty good at racing hard. I got to thank all my sponsors, Fraser's Place, Brooks Automotive, Lightning Chassis. My father builds one hell of a fast race car. Bushy's Generator, Mountainside Graphics, Turn 4 Podcast, Fireside Beverage, R.E. Hinckley's for sponsoring the division, Cutting Edge Property Management, Andy Speed Shop, Emerson Roofing, and all the crew and all my family for helping me do this.
Great job. Victory lane belongs to Chris Riendo tonight. Gonna see if we can talk with some few other folks. Trying to find Mr. Sunhalter. Hey, bud, how are you? We talked earlier today, man. You were ready. You were looking like you were focused. And I'll tell you what, you had it there for a while. He just looked like he was just a tick better.
Chris was definitely good. I wasn't going to get in his way, but I thought I might be able to just stick with him. It didn't happen that way, but if anyone to lose to, they had a ton of laps. They're wicked good pretty much everywhere. So just happy to be here. Man, we have found something that does not work with this car this year, and I think we finally hit on something. So it's something to work on.
Working on 2023 is over, or you'll be back for the Fall Challenge. You still got some other races to run other places. Matt Sundhalter, a class act, my friend. Good to see you. All right, so we're going to see if we can steal Mr. Gray. Oh, he's in Photo City right now. I think the Baruso family is pretty happy that he pedaled that 81 into the podium. Brandon, come on up, pal. I thought that was you in the car earlier, and then I said, no, that can't be. Hot Rod, I haven't seen you since the days you were pedaling these cars at the Monadnock Speedway. But, buddy, you made that thing light up and roll tonight.
Yeah, that was a hell of a good piece. Anyone who hasn't bought that car is a damn fool because it does go good. And I want to say thanks to the whole Baruso crew for having me sub tonight. And we'll be on the White Mountain tomorrow night and finish out what we started.
There you go. Finishing out. He is the Rocket Man. He'll get it done. Brandon Gray. Let's see if we can talk with our champion. Mr. Greensled, you want to come down and join us down this way, buddy? Ladies and gentlemen, Claremont Motorsports Park, give it up for 5-time David Greensled. Hot Rod, you just hung in there. You did a great job. You've had a season. You stayed Mr. Consistent, and you're here, and we're glad to see you, our champion.
Yeah, consistency was key this year, and actually tonight's the first night we haven't finished on the podium, so still a top 5. You don't have to win them all. You just have to be there at the end and be consistent, stay out of trouble. I got to thank my wife foremost for everything she does. My car owner, Tony, for giving me bad, fast hot rod and anything I need for it. Eric, Rocky, who isn't here. Josh Brusso came on this week and helping us out, and we're getting there. The car's getting tuned in, but we're still missing a little bit. I think Vermont Custom Cabinetry, LFOD Motorsports, Original Wheelman, Backwoods Trophy Outfitters, Rocky Branch Auto, Harpoon UFO. I think I'm missing a couple, but
you got a lot of people that help you out. You got a lot of class act right there in that young lady, and a great team. David Greensled is your champion for 2023 here at the Claremont Motorsports Park.
white parts, another Denise, or what? See, here's the darkness, so there's 6 overhead lights out. Have you seen that? Where, here, in the corners? Or justify, you know? Yes?
Open mic.
David Greenslet taking his victory lap as the champion for 2023 in another big hand for David Greenslet, your 2023 late model champion. Oh, now maybe we'll get a little smoke show out of it, at least a little excitement. Let's see. Quietly off into the pits and rolling down out of the pits for the championship night are Avery Insurance 6 shooters, leading them out. The 68 from Grantham, New Hampshire, Steve Miller Sr. Steve Miller Sr. On the outside will be the guy who's won his fair share of races as well this year, although not in the top 5. Robert Shaw in the 07 out of Perkinsville, Vermont. The Gangster of Love in the number 79, your point leader, Steve Miller Jr. He'll start in the 3rd spot. 4th on the outside of him out of White River Junction, Vermont. Car 37 for Trevor Young. Starting 5th, Ryan Upham from Bethel, Vermont, in a championship race, in spite of the fact it's only about his 4th feature race of his racing career. And then starting outside of him, Ethan Mayette from Newport, New Hampshire, in car 40. Steve Miller Jr. comes in tonight with a pretty substantial lead on Dad. 370 points to 344. The battle for points really will be 2nd and 3rd. The 344 points for Steve Miller Sr. is only 2 better than Trevor Young at 342. So if Trevor Young and Steve Miller Sr. finish 2nd and 3rd, or in any order where Young is ahead of Miller, they'll be tied for that position. Steve Miller Jr. probably is not going to lose if he dropped out now. He's still got 36-point advantage. That's 18 positions on a field of not 18 cars. Lights are out. Steve Miller Sr., Robert Shaw, Steve Miller Jr., Trevor Young. Ryan Upham and Ethan Mayette. They slide underneath the 802 Credit Union sign down toward the 302 Metalworks and Collision starting zone. They hit the zone. Here's the green. Miller on the gas. They were doing work on that car earlier on in the pits. Tire rubbing on the right rear. Let's hope they solve that problem. It's Miller, Shaw, Miller, Young, Upham, and Mayette. This event, 20 laps, green to checker. 1 lap down. Miller Jr. looking to be a champion. Dad looking to be a winner again. Robert Shaw has been able to win some races as well this year. A little bit calmer 6-shooter division, and it was Labor Day weekend. Shaw just sitting right back there, waiting for his minute. A little tap on the bumper almost, going into 1. Coming off of 2, trying to get that car squared around so he can go by. Looks inside Miller Sr. No, not yet, not yet. Keep trying, be patient. A lot of time left in this one. Shaw, Miller, Miller. Battle for the back hasn't changed much. Trevor Young just waiting for someone to mess up. Maybe he can get a win out of it. Shaw tests Miller again into turn 3 and 4. Miller Sr. looks a little bit stronger coming off of turn 2. Robert Shaw works up to the outside trying to do a swap. Whoa, what did he do? He messed himself up. He was trying to switch over and go underneath, and the car didn't behave properly. And here comes young Miller Sr. Shaw has to come back. Down the back stretch. Once again, Shaw going to look outside, try to swap over to come to the inside. Miller Sr. goes up the block. He can't make the pass. Now he looks inside. Here's the chance for a pass. Miller cuts him off going into 2. Once again, Shaw trying to get up there. Miller Jr. Everyone having a good lap and a bad lap right now. And as long as they have good and bad laps at the back of the field, Steve Miller Sr.'s got a pretty easy chance of staying up front and winning the event. Four-car battle up front, 2-car battle at the back. Those guys trying as hard as they can to do really well and stay out of the way of the leaders when they come up through here, and that's going to be in another couple of laps. Once again, Shaw tests the inside on Steve Miller. Doesn't get through there. Looks inside again, going into 1. Miller drops down, cuts that corner off. Shaw can't get underneath. Now he tries again. Here he goes. Shaw down inside. No, not quite enough. Had to get down in the dirt and still couldn't make it stick. Now he's got the shot. Here he comes into turn 1. Robert Shaw turns it down to the dirt, comes off the corner, and Steve Miller Jr. testing Dad on the inside. Here they come. Boy, you just don't want to get stuck on the outside here at Claremont. Shaw, Miller Jr. now moves up front. Miller Sr. getting kicked back. And Trevor Young, remember, Steve Miller Sr. and Trevor Young are 2 points apart in the top 5. Whoa, Miller Sr. loose, and Young looks inside. Miller Sr. taking a wide berth going into turns 1 and 2. Trevor Young has a chance to get inside, but there's lap traffic, and lap traffic that wants to race with itself. Robert Shaw's on top here. 5 laps to go next time by. Right now it's Shaw pulling away and Steve Miller Jr. trying to deal with the lap traffic, which is doing what he's supposed to, going low, but that's not where Miller wants him. He comes underneath. Here comes Trey Young. Steve Miller Sr., Trey Young right now are tied for second place in points if they finish the way they are. Steve Miller Jr. will win the championship easily, but he's got to chase Robert Shaw to win the race.
Robert Shaw in the 07S, piloting himself in the front spot. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79, the Gangster of Love, looking for the championship. Trevor Young, such a great young man, celebrating his birthday today. Would love to keep that on the podium in the 37, doing a great job. Robert Shaw is your current leader. Steve Miller Sr. still trying to race down the 37 of Trevor Young. Robert Shaw pedaling the 07. Steve Miller Jr., Trevor Young, Steve Miller Sr., the 8 of Ryan Upham, Ethan Mayotte. This is your Avery Insurance 6-shooter championship night here at the Claremont Motorsports Park as we celebrate 802 Credit Union in the house. Can't thank them enough for coming on to sponsor this championship night. Five laps to go this time as they've crossed. Take that back. 2 laps remain. Chris Horton says 2 more circuits here at the Claremont Motorsports Park here on championship night. Robert Shaw out to that commanding lead, being tracked down by Steve Miller Jr., the Gangster of Love, Trevor Young, and the Space Cowboy of Steve Miller Sr. One more circuit. And coming into victory lane, here he is. It is the 07S of Robert Shaw. Steve Miller Jr., Trevor Young, Steve Miller Sr., Ryan Upham, and Ethan Mayotte will round out your field of the Avery Insurance 6-shooter division. Coming down to victory lane, and we're going to send it trackside to Dave Sutherland.
Well, we got the smoke show pulling away and the smoke show for the champion up against the wall. And here he comes back to victory lane. Still. Your winner, Robert Shaw, brings it up into victory for his victory lap. Handing out the trophies. We'll get our winner out in a minute as soon as he gets Miss M's pictures taken here. And here's your winner for tonight's event, Robert Shaw. Happy man. Hey, man, kind of a slow start, but once you got out front, even with a little extra time on there, the car looked pretty happy.
I cannot complain. I just bide my time till the time was right, and then I make my move, and here we are.
The hole opens up every time. It looks like you like getting into turn one.
Oh, I do things a little different around this track than some people do, and they ask me how I can make it so fast, but just no brakes.
No brakes, that's the way you do it. You think you're racing on dirt. Wave it out to the folks up there in the beer garden. And next year?
There's some things in the works. I don't know. We'll see what happens over the winter. We'll see what happens come spring. We'll see what the talks. We'll see what happens.
And it's Autumn Challenge is coming up anyway, so there's a little more time to play.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I raced it with snow on the ground before. It wouldn't be the first time.
We'll see what happens. Robert Shaw, your winner tonight. Let's move down the line here. Somewhere there's a guy named Trey Young. Hey, there you are. Well, I'll take. We're going to get to the champ in a minute. That's why. Okay. So you talked about slow and steady and being careful. We were talking in the pits today, and it certainly paid off.
Yeah, car was pretty good in practice. We lost a little speed here when it got cooled off. I'm not sure why at this point, but we'll go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out.
And you're one who can do that, so good luck.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, Trey Run finishing third. Now, where is he? Where's that gangster love? Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 champion! Well, you didn't have to win it, but it certainly feels good to win it.
Well, you know, my dad was champion last year, and then Dustin Thibodeau the 2 years before that. So this is Thibodeau Racing's 4th championship in a row. So we're pretty proud of that, and it's just awesome to be out here with my dad and clean racing tonight. Unfortunately, the lap cars have been a big trouble this year, so that kind of cost me a couple spots when he started blocking me, but I guess we'll get to thanking people. It's been a hell of a season. I got a lot of people to thank. First off, Mellish's, I'm guessing up in turn 1 there. And then I got Fired Up Pizza, Smoking Hogs Barbecue, Lynette and the Farm, Judd's Automotive, CNR Service Center, Stone Leaf Cannabis, my mother, my father, my girlfriend Nora, and Rick Morse in the pits. He's the freaking man with the tires. He changes them, does the pressures, torques our freaking lug nuts every day. Every time we're here, it's great to be the champion.
Well, congratulations. Give him one big hand, everybody. You're champion for 2023 Six-Shooters and the Avery Insurance Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gangster of love, Steve Miller Jr., your 2023 Avery Insurance six-shooter champion. Working his way back from victory lane, taking his champion lap. Put your hands together for the gangster of love. This is what we've been here for. This is what we've been waiting for. You've stayed with us. We thank you very much. You folks home on Astrovision watching now, it is time for our feature and final championship crowning at the Claremont Motorsports Park for the ASAC Modifieds. Leading them out is the McGee of Toyota of Claremont pace car. And here is your starting lineup. On the pole out of Claremont, New Hampshire in the 46. Put your hands together for Jeremy Zullo. To his outside, showing on our stop, is the 4, Windsor, Vermont's hometown hero. This is Joey Jarvis. Inside, row number 2, Sunapee, New Hampshire, is where he calls home. That is Mike Smith. To his outside, currently tied with your points leader, is the 03, the Valley Recycling, Virgilio Property Maintenance, 1812 Auto Body, Nathan Wenzel. Inside, row number 3, it is the Professor out of Sunapee, New Hampshire, Brian Roby. Laps are completed. 30 laps is the distance. Starting on the outside of Roby will be the brand new ride for the Claremont Hot Shoe of Hayden Grenier in the 83. And starting in the scratch position, the racing electrician. It is the 51. Swansea, New Hampshire is where he calls home for Adam LaPointe. All right, here we go, Claremont Motorsports Park. Everyone on your feet, give them a wave. Tell them what you came to see. These are the best battle in the field. They are dead even tied, Wenzel and Roby. It is a position battle. Ready to go, ready to fire off. Zullo, Jarvis, Smith, Wenzel, Roby, Grenier, and the 51. Send them off, folks. Here they go. Zulu jumps out to the lead. Wenzel on the outside. Roby to the inside. Going to dig hard. These two are going to work the wheel side by side. But they've got Jarvis and Smith to contend with. The best points battle in the house is working the backstretch. Roby has a nose over Wenzel right now. Smith is in second. Jarvis to the outside. Roby pilots to the inside. Brian Roby calculating, working his way through the field. Goes by Mike Smith for the second spot. Wenzel doing the same thing. He's in the third spot. Recently crowned champion at the Monadnock Speedway. Would love to go back to back. Zulu leading the way. Roby still directly behind. Wenzel right there as well. Smith, Jarvis, Grenier, and LaPointe. Roby's going to challenge Zulu for the lead as he drops it into turns 1 and 2. Exits the leader coming down the backstretch. Brian Roby looking to jet the 25. The Maurice Enterprises RHR 25 is your leader, but here comes Wenzel as well. He picks off Zulu, taking the second spot.
Off turn 4 they roll. It's now Roby and Wenzel 1-2. One of them will walk away the champion here this evening. And right now it's Roby on top. He knows the track like the back of his hand. He's won the championship here before. He will try to stay on top. No cautions. It could be a quick run to the checkers. 30 laps in and they're done. Right now you've got Zulu running in the third spot. Smith back to fourth. Jarvis running fifth. Sixth is Grenier. Adam LaPointe kind of out of the picture. Grenier in a brand new car, just trying to get it broken in. Mike Smith having a good run here in his modified, but Joey Jarvis all in the points chase, running right there behind him. Jarvis came in fourth place in points. Zulu came in fifth place in points. He could move up a little bit, but maybe not enough to get himself a better spot. Wenzel slowly picking off the distance between himself and Brian Roby. You've got Adam LaPointe about to get lapped. First time he's been on the racetrack. Not familiar with all the idiosyncrasies of this track. Has to keep it down as Roby goes by. When he slows up, there's Wenzel. Wenzel trying to set the car up to get a good run down, coming down the backstretch. Looking close to the halfway mark. A couple more laps to go. And Wenzel is there. He's there at the back bumper of Roby. Nate Wenzel, the sophomore modified driver, running the back bumper as they cross the stripe at the halfway mark. Halfway to a championship for one of these two drivers. Who's it going to be? Working the second half of this 30-lap championship event. Wenzel looks inside. He's there. He's side by side with Roby off of turn 4. Roby pulls back down. Wenzel, they contact each other going through the corner. Roby staying right there. Wheel to wheel, banging right rear to left rear. Roby staying right on the outside. Right now it's Wenzel's race to lose.
Nate Wenzel pedaling the 03 like no tomorrow. He's looking to do back-to-back championships at two tracks, but Brian Roby's right there. They've been rubbing elbow to elbow and Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Roby, the consummate study of the game. He's going to wait for his opportunity and then try to pounce. But right now, your leader is Wenzel. Wenzel slides coming into turns 1 and 2. Goes down the backstretch, able to catch it. Roby did not pursue that. Right now, Brian Roby is calculating. We've got 9 laps to see who's going to be the 2023 modified, A-Stick modified champion here at the Claremont Motorsports Park.
They go to turn one. They've got lap traffic to deal with, sliding around Adam LaPointe. Both of them have to be careful coming off a turn two. Now here comes Roby. He's closing back in. Wenzel getting off of turn four in better shape. Roby's able to close going into three, and they've got to deal with Hayden Grenier. Grenier's got to pull it right down. I mean, down out of the way. It rides right up in front of Roby. Almost took him out. Roby has to really pedal hard now to bring it back up. There are 5 to go when they cross the stripe. One of these two drivers will be the 2023 Aztec Modified Champion here at Claremont Motorsport Park. Roby not able to keep pace right now. He's got to really turn the wick up now to run young Wenzel down. Looks like he might have a shot. He's getting into the turns and out better. You can't give up now when you got 4 laps left. Coming by, 3 laps to go this time. Nate Wenzel hoping to get his second championship in 7 days. And there's a caution. 3 cars piled up in a corner, one of which is a lapped car, the other 2 guys contenders. And this brings out a caution, which puts the 2 guys going for the championship side by side on the restart unless it's a single file. Hayden Grenier, the only car still running. Zulo is able to pull away from it. So does Jarvis. And so eventually does Adam LaPointe. And Mike Smith. Looks like a Nerf bar pretty bent up on Smith's car. And tire rub on the back. Mike Smith may be out for the day. Left rear tire appears to be down. Clean up in turns 3 and 4. Infield crew pulls away. Wrecker crew heads back to their docking station in turns 1 and 2. Well, it was going to be a run to the finish. 3 laps left. Now it's going to be a real dash for the cash. One more time around here. Nate Wenzel trailed Tyler Leary going into the championship event at Monadnock last Saturday evening. Leary had some bad luck with the closing laps of the race. Wenzel went on to collect the championship. He had at that time been 2 points behind. This time he was tied with the other contender, and that being Brian Roby. So now you've got a 2-point differential between first and second. It can't end in a tie. One driver's going to win this one, and he's got 3 laps to do it in. Let's see whether they go single file, double it up, right to the end. Brian Roby's going to have to pull every trick he knows to get around the young driver and Nate Wenzel. Randy's going to be standing by to talk with him, and I think they'll be pretty excited no matter what happens. Pace car heads up pit road. They head for the 603 Metalworks start zone for the last time. Into the zone. Here's the green. Wenzel dirt tracks it off the corner. Roby's right there with him, and a caution comes out again as the 27 spins off the back of the field and brings out the caution, so that lap does not count. Numbers are back down. Let's go do it again. Everybody clears the carbs. Make sure no stutters. Here they come again. Wenzel, Roby, going for a championship. Both of them with the same number of points. One of them's going to pick up the win. Roby stays on the outside this time. Hits the line. Roby gets to the turn first. Wenzel's down inside. Roby on the outside, down the backstretch. Heading into turns 3 and 4 to come down to complete. 2 laps to go. They are wheel to wheel going into the corner. If they touch, one driver's going to be in trouble. Roby slides up a little bit. Wenzel takes the lead. Down into turns 3 and 4. Wenzel and Roby, white flag in the air. One more try. Roby goes down in. They make contact. He backs out. That could cook it for him. One more try. To the line. Checkered flag in the air. It will be Nate Wenzel winning the championship. Roby second. Zulo third. Fourth goes to Joey Jarvis. Fifth to Hayden Grenier. Sixth to Adam LaPointe. Your 2023 champion for the second time in a week will be Nate Wenzel. Brian Roby, a former champion, will not be there, just 2 points behind. Wow, what a way to finish this one. And I think there'll be some excited folks in Victory Lane when they get there, and I'm sure the Wenzel family is going to be equally excited. Last weekend, his brother Tim won the late model championship at Monadnock, and right now that's more valuable points for young Nate Wenzel, and he's also contender for the winner of the Quest for the Cup. And that will be settled October 1st at Lee USA Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victory Lane, this is his second championship this week. This is Nathan Wenzel. As he rolls onto the checkers, you're going to see one excited young man for sure. He and Brian run the show of shows tonight here at the Claremont Motorsports Park. This young man is going to be electric when he gets out of that car. Getting all his gear off, getting his photos taken, got his complimentary water in, got all kinds of hands up for all kinds of wins this season. Had an awesome 2023 for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Wenzel! Oh, you know, he started this, so that's why he's paying the price. Oh, champ times 2. Buddy, this has been an amazing week for you, has it not?
Oh, it's been an awesome 2 weeks now. 2 championships, one at Monadnock, one here. It was my first win here. We've been trying for a couple years now to try and get it done, but yeah, we were finally able to get it done. Just I could tell Brian was really tight, and I just tried to take full advantage of it and just try to run away as fast as I could. I really did not want to see that last caution come out, but big thank you to my mom, dad, Lindsay, Ted, Justin, Jordan, Ted, Tim, just everyone that helps me out. James Ford and Chevrolet, Airgas, 1812 Auto Body, Virgilio Property Management, The Fireplace, Amherst Trucking, Valley Recycling. Just everyone behind me. This is awesome.
And you've got a cup race to win. Do you think you can put the final seal on the deal for 2023 at the Lee USA Speedway and take that amazing cup home, pal?
I have no idea. We're going to give it our best shot.
That's all you can do. Nate Wenzel is your 2023 Claremont Motorsports Park Ace-Tex Modified Champion. Professor, you gave him everything you could. You threw the kitchen sink. You did everything you could. Working the outside. You were right there, and he won inches at one point.
Yeah, no doubt. We made him earn that one. But that's, I mean, if you're going to win a championship, that's really the way you probably should win it. You know what I mean? Like, that's.
We watch the water.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I mean, the nice thing about that is, you know he's going to feel good about that. You know, I really like Nate. You know, I think he's got a long, good career ahead of him in racing, and you know, had a real good battle there, and it was a good time. And you know, we leaned and rubbed, but we didn't wreck each other. Got into him there at the end, but obviously, last lap to go, you're gonna give us something. So, but let him gather it up and go back in 3 and 4 and see what happens. But hey, he earned it. So congratulations to him.
Awesome season, Dad. You still got more to go. A lot left in your season so far. What's the next step for you, pal?
There's so many question marks here going into September, October for us. We know we'll be at Lee next Sunday for the Cup race here with these things, and then maybe down to Thompson the next weekend for one of the tour races. I'm not sure which one yet, so we'll see. But we'll update everybody. We'll get it online so everybody knows where we're going.
Roby, a true class act. Professor, you've done a great job. Mr. Zullo, come up this way, man. God, buddy, you had the air running out there. You dug it out in front, but these two cats were battling for a championship, and they wanted it bad.
Yeah, they did. I didn't have anything for either one of them. I got to thank my crew, Jamie, Evan, Ryan, Lonnie, Heather, Hillary, my wife, my kids, Springfield Paving, my fan crew up in the beer garden.
Save one for him, guys.
And congratulations to Nate on the championship.
Great class act as well. Jeremy Zullo in for your podium. Folks, thank you for joining us here in 2023 so far for our champions. But don't forget, we've got more racing to come. We'll see you at the Fall Festival.